Hey, it's Good Friends, Good Games. Episode 56. I don't know if you can tell, but Zenith is very, very bright right now. He has been blessed.
I died and went to heaven when I was at the spa.
Yeah.
That's right. You got some color. The whole thing. Did you do a tanning bed?
No, they didn't have any. Well, they did have like UV lights where you basically you hang out on this like little bed couch thing, and you just lay under like these red UV lights, and it was like it's good for you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they had like 4 or 5 different saunas.
Different purposes, different speeds and motor, or like just 5 to use?
At this place, they have like like these really fancy saunas where you go in and there are different temperatures, and they also have like different rocks. So they have like an agate spa, they had jade spa. I forgot what like one of the ones that I did. They have like well, even though it's not a spa, but it's like a room where you go in and there's just like amethyst and crystals, and you just lay under like these UV lights, and going in there, your anxiety and worries just melt away. It was like it wasn't like you were getting high. It was like you're happy. It was very trippy and very cool. So no tanning beds. I'm still the regular color.
Did you do like the mud thing, the mud bath or any of that stuff?
No. So, Morgan, what are you doing?
I'm just quietly responding to chat.
She's sending out
Chat is
ooh-woos.
controlling them.
Yeah, you need to blow Damie some kisses.
Yeah.
Morgan has reached her scene girl era with her pink hair extensions.
Fine, I'll do it as well, Jake. Look at me.
Oh
you.
my god!
Now that Morgan has the hair,
dude.
now that Morgan has the hair extensions, I think Zenith should come back with the emo haircut and the leather jacket.
I mean, I could, but that was also that kiss was for
once.
Dill because it's his birthday.
It is Dill's birthday, everybody.
Transition there.
That was the smoothest of transitions.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
So I screwed up, and I thought Dill was 31 today because I thought he turned 30 last year. Turns out this man has 1 year of his 20s left.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do before you start feeling like you're old?
I already feel like that sometimes with this new like, Gen Z and everything like that.
Old.
Wait, you're Gen Z?
Old.
No, I'm just shy of Gen Z. I was like the last era of millennials.
Oh, so you are a millennial. Okay.
Yeah, only by like a year, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I'm a second year millennial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a second year millennial. Dill is the last year millennial.
Yep.
I'm a 6th year millennial.
You're on the border too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was born in 87.
Yeah, you're in the. Oh wait, no, you're total millennial. You're total millennial.
Mm-hmm. That's the boomer. Sorry guys, the boomer Erik is here to tell Morgan off about her actual age.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Before the pod started, we were talking about all the stuff going on in America and the world right now and all that kind of stuff. And the only thing running through my head right now is like, I'm a millennial. This ain't shit.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I've lived through so much shit as a millennial that this is just like icing on the cake. This is like the buffet of bullshit.
Erik still keeps his I Survived Y2K shirt somewhere.
Oh my god!
And he still has his like ticket stubs for the movie 2012.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, it's like one of those things. Like this is literally just the buffet of bullshit, and I'm like, I'm ready for another plate. Like, let's go. But so yeah. I'm a second year millennial, so like literally my first like defining moment as a quote unquote adult is 9/11. Like I woke up one morning and found out planes crashed into the World Trade Center. I'm like, oh shit, I'm proud. I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
go to the war.
How old were you?
I had just turned 18. I just turned 18 because my birthday's August.
I think I was 14 then. I forget.
Yeah, I was brought out of school early by my dad, and I thought, and my first initial thought is like, my parents won the lottery, and I don't have to go to school anymore. And I get home, it's like, oh shit.
This is the opposite of what
you
happened.
You could actually like see like a lot of like smoke coming from across like Lake Ontario. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh wow, really? Like you were? Oh,
Yeah.
so you were close, like enough to see it.
Yeah.
Right,
So
yeah,
it was,
because
it
you're
was
across the
startling.
lake.
And the craziest thing about it is throughout that whole thing, when 9/11 happened, a lot of Canadians actually went and risked their lives to help our American friends for anyone that was trying to get away from that. And we were happy to, lend a hand. We didn't ask for anything in return. But, well, some people seem to may have forgotten about that. So, that's something.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things where it's just like I woke up to 9/11. I got out of college right as the 2008 crash hit. So like the Great Recession of 2008, I had gotten out of college and couldn't find work for months. So like I'm like I said, this is just another this is just round 3 on the bullshit plate. Oh, I'm sorry. Round 4. Round 3 was the pandemic. So like
during the recession, I was like, in order to make money, the only job that I had during that entire recession was me putting labels on like yogurt containers, and it was like the stupidest thing. But I'm like, please, I need money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like I said, this is round 4 of the bullshit plate. Round 3 was the pandemic, where it's just like, okay, just throw it at me. Whatever.
I mean, to be fair, there's a new world event happening every single month, so
You wake up the next day and then you just like deep breaths, please.
Yeah.
Dear God, no. Why?
I'm gonna wake up to fucking the powers that be, the powers that be cutting toilet paper from government buildings. That's how much they're trying to save money. It's gonna roll down to that. But
just
anyway, back to more important matters. It is Dill's birthday. Happy birthday, sir. Happy 29.
Thank you. I love that my birthday was a domino effect to 9/11 there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all part of the mystery.
All part of the American dream.
The conspiracy
enjoy
theories.
your birthday for now. You might not know if you'll be able to enjoy your 30th birthday. Oh, you.
I'm not even sure what I'm going to do for my 30th. Because all I've done today is I've literally just like chilled. I've played games with friends. I've played games on my own, and I've like gotten some presents, and that's really it. And a lot of messages. That's all that. That's all that's happened. Yeah.
Do you get like the same cake every birthday?
It mixes up. It depends on what. Like my mum lately likes to make cakes, so
Aww.
all of them have been like homemade cakes. This time around it was a chocolate one. I think last year it was either a caramel one or a red velvet.
Nice.
So like,
nice.
Normally one of my three favorite cakes are anything salted caramel, red velvet, or chocolate. Basically,
nice. That's a good. See, that is a man with taste, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not a big cake person. Not a huge cake person. No. I'm not a big birthday cake fan person, but
not a big sauce person.
Yeah, not a big sauce person.
Me and
I have my sweet issues or whatever. My sweet vices are cookies, and donuts, and to an extent ice cream. But mostly donuts and cookies every year.
Yeah.
And this has been for the past 10 years that I've lived in LA. Every year for my birthday, all I ask for is black and white cookies from a deli down in Hollywood. And they're the best black and white cookies. And like every year Pal goes and every year that Pal's been together with me, she's gone down and gotten them. And we get like a handful of them and I eat them for my birthday.
Good. Yeah.
So,
I will say, I did have some takeout yesterday for like an early birthday food and everything, like treats to myself. There's a burrito place that opened up around where I live recently.
Okay.
I went there. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. What kind of burrito did you have?
I got the beef burrito, which had tasty beef in it. It had Mexican rice, beans, salad, the whole works, basically.
Okay.
And honestly, it was really good. It was really good. The only thing that I will say is that it was lacking a sauce of some kind inside of it. I feel like it wasn't enough.
Did they have the? Did you go eat at the place or was it delivered to you?
I delivered it.
I got it delivered to me. I got you. Because a lot of these places, this is how you know it's a good, authentic Mexican restaurant, right? Yeah. You go to the restaurant, and if they have the salsa bar, you're set. Because the salsa bar is basically a little bar where you go and they have all the different salsas, and then you put them in the little cups.
Yeah. They had a burrito sauce that you could buy on the side, and I regret not buying that, honestly, because it would have been quite nice to see what it is.
Yeah, you need a little bit of salsa.
I think the next time I go there, apparently the chicken one comes with this spicy sauce on it. So I think I'm going to get that one next time I go. Yeah, but I had that, and I had a Biscoff milkshake, which was delicious.
Oh, Biscoff? What is that?
Biscoff is like a biscuit that is quite nice, not too sweet. I will say you actually might like it, Erik. It's not too sweet. It's really good. And the milkshake was like not too like thick, not too runny. It was just right. I could literally just drink it all up like it was nothing, pretty much. I'm
gonna look up a bit. I'm gonna go get a Biscoff cookie.
You should try it. It's nice. It's one of my
you
favorite.
Also forgot. We forgot to mention to you, Del. You have also set unrealistic expectations for Pow and I because we went to the store. And Pow found the Jaffe cakes, the orange Jaffe cakes.
Jaffa cakes. Oh,
they did not compare to the ones you brought us.
Most likely because they're probably made by Hershey's. That's why.
I don't know who made them. I will look at the company brand later or whatever.
9 times out of 10, it's probably Hershey's, which is probably why.
She has brought one. Pow has entered the room and brought one of these cakes.
Yeah.
But it is very... The ones you brought were more dense. This one is very light and like marshmallowy.
No, there should not be any marshmallow in a Jaffa cake.
I mean, I don't want to say it's I don't want to say it's like a jelly.
An orange jelly, and then like a cakey on the under side, and then chocolate on top. That's the Jaffa cake.
So the cake feels very pillowy.
Probably not done it thoroughly enough then. Yeah. I would say
it's very pillowy. Yeah. It's not like probably because it was made in the U.S. Sounds about right.
Yeah, as I said, and like with Jaffa cakes, like you get them either in the UK, get them imported from the UK, or don't have them at all. Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna go find a British grocer around here. There's got to be one in LA. I'm gonna find a British grocer and then
But I will say with Jaffa cakes, I recently tried cola flavored Jaffa cakes recently over here. Very nice. Very demure.
We went to a like down here, Dill's been there, but like here in LA we have tons of like Asian and Japanese markets. I had a Japanese Coke Zero.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, Morgan, do you drink Coke Zero at all?
No, I don't.
Okay, anyone that listens to this and knows Coke Zero, they changed the formula like a few years back, and now it tastes a little more flat tasting versus very carbonated like in the old days.
Yeah.
Ew.
I went and I got this one from the Japanese market, and it tastes like the one from 5-6 years ago where it was more carbonated, and I was like, okay.
That's good.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
That is good.
But they charged more. Bastards.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think for me, if I'm going to have so I don't drink much soda. Like it's very rare when I do. But if I am going to have a soda, like I actually just had like a can of Sprite last night with my pizza. I don't go for any of the diet or the Coke Zero options. I just go for the real thing, and if I am thirsty, I just offer either water or juice, or in some cases, like yesterday again, I had milk.
Milk.
Yeah, milk.
Milk.
Are you a 2%er, a full
2%er?
2%er? Okay.
Yeah. My titty water needs some fat, so
my titty water. Jesus. I'm not a big milk.
Some milk.
I'm not a big milk person.
I wanted to make a joke as somebody who actually has boobs, but I'm not gonna do
but
it.
Morgan, you don't have any milk. You need to actually get it if you want to produce that.
I'm not lactating. 'Cause I'm not.
What the
fuck? Someone make that into a soundbite right now. Someone do that. Take that and make it into a soundbite right now.
Someone clip that. Morgan, go ahead and clip that. I'm going to authorize you to clip that because I need the soundbite.
Kitty,
All
you
right.
have technology. Do it. I know you have technology.
I am not
got
lactating, guys.
Kitty, there's
I'm
another
not
one. Kitty, take
lactating.
it, do it.
Anyway, to not as smooth a segue, Zenith, Morgan, what have you two been up to?
You want to go first then?
No, you go first.
Okay.
Because I'll talk about the spa. Because there's some things that I forgot to mention about my experience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I've just been working on more cleaning up. It seems like it's gonna take like the rest of eternity, but I'm slowly getting through it at least. But in my free time, I've at least gotten some older games up and running. I'll probably discuss that like whenever we're like all talking about like what games we played and stuff like that. But that's kind of basically it, I guess. Apart from like streaming and then like obviously trying out new games.
I don't know what the
not
hell
really
you're
a whole
cleaning
lot.
up. I don't know what the hell you're cleaning up. Your office looks like, I say, Gamer Grill Perfect, where it's all clean floor.
That's
It's-
probably the only room that's perfect. Everything else is a dump.
Yeah, that's basically it. Actually.
Yeah,
There's-
Morgan,
She
I
hides
bet
it.
you anything. I could go on that floor and lick the floor, and I won't get any kind of like disease.
Ew.
I mean, you are correct. You will not get diseases licking the floor,
Yeah,
but I don't know
you
why
also
you'd be
are
licking
the
floor.
same person that says that if a blanket touches the floor, you immediately throw in the wash, and then you're doing laundry all day for that said blanket.
Yeah.
Wait, you do that?
Well,
Excuse me.
kind of,
Excuse you,
sort
sir.
of, I guess.
Die.
Sorry.
What did you just
I wanted to
do?
join in.
Oh, I thought you were trying to like eat his burp.
Everyone burp.
So when we moved into this place, I was actually sweeping weekly, basically every Sundays, but it was just like I've just been doing like so many things around here that I don't get a chance to sweep as often as I really want to, so it's not as clean as I want it to be. So like I've actually mentioned like even to Zen a few times that where like I just did the laundry and I get the stuff out of the dryer to take to my room so I can fold everything and like disperse it to, whoever it belongs to. And I'll get something like a sock or something that falls on the floor and then I'm like, I guess that has to go back in the washer now.
What?
What?
Oh, you would fucking hate me, dude. Sometimes when I'm like sleeping in the middle of the night, the blanket like falls off and lands on the floor. And then like I'll get right back up, put it back over me and go back to bed.
What do you do in your sleep that causes your blanket to fall off?
I'm a big tosser and turner. And I'm also one of those
Okay.
like I'm very difficult to temperature regulate. Like
Right.
I'm like a pain in the ass to regulate temperature wise. Like I'll be too cold, I'll be too hot. And then oh my god. Are we laughing at Chibi?
No, Eric, I've
Yeah.
been sent something. I'm going to post it in the live chat.
Oh no.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not the
no.
right one.
Anyway, yeah, I'm very hard to temperature regulate. So like I'm tossing, I'm turning because like I'm either too hot or I'm too cold, and then I can't figure it out. What in the hell am I looking at? Let's see.
There you go.
I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna regret this.
See, Kitty, it's a kid said Kitty to do something, and he delivers. He always does.
Okay, you can.
That
Yeah,
was really good.
We'll keep this for things.
Use it for use it for TikToks.
Use it for TikToks. Yeah, you
Yes.
bad.
I think.
I'm gonna add that as a sound effect for my stream.
Same.
Yeah, that's really funny.
It'll be exclamation
touching
milk.
too.
Everyone thank Kitty because Kitty is the one
There
who
you
did
go.
it.
Thanks, Kitty.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, hard to regulate temperature wise. So I'm like constantly like blanket on, blanket off, blah 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 blah.
Okay.
It's a nightmare.
I'm the opposite. When I fall asleep, I've been told that I'm basically like a dead body.
Nice. Pow is
Yeah.
a fucking Pow. Literally, Pow could be room. Pow could literally get a room at the depths of hell.
Yep.
And she would still be too cold. Like,
Really?
I don't know. It is a sauna sometimes.
Jesus.
I'm like, girl, what are you doing? It's like,
I'm gonna say
Sun
Pow's Mexican, right? So she's used to more like warmer climates, I guess. So that could be probably what it is.
I don't know. She grew up in LA, so like,
I mean, LA is also pretty
Yeah.
warm, so like,
Yeah.
yeah.
and also
Oh.
full of Hispanics, so I guess it checks
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You know, but
So I guess
No,
during
like-
summertime when it's LA, like when you're like roasting, Pow's just like,
yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I'm
LA
like
is just a
sweating.
light cerveza of Mexico, right?
I'm just sweating in bed, like sweating, and then she's sitting there like just all nuzzled up, cozy, and I'm like dying. I'm like, ugh, it's rough, dude. It's rough, but you know, you work through it. We do
Yeah,
the two
true.
blankets. We each have our own separate blankets. Like we have our separate
That's fair.
blanket system. So
Yeah.
each one has one that like accommodates them.
I
But,
got a weighted blanket for Christmas, and it's quite nice.
Oh, Dill.
Yeah.
I have been. I can't tell you how many times it's like, hey, I gotta watch something from my bed. Once I put on the weighted blanket, I'm out in like 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit!
I
It's
put it
the
on my
best.
legs at the end of the bed, just like.
We
It's,
have
like,
one
it's
of
not a
those,
big
too.
one, but it's about, I think it's 3 kilograms in total.
Ooh,
Yeah, so it's heavy.
that's like what, 5 pounds?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Hang on.
Yeah, mine's a 4-pound blanket.
3 kilograms.
The
Just
other
to
ones
get
that'll
lighter.
blow your mind too, like
Oh,
for
it's
summertime.
6.6 pounds.
Oh, I was close. For
Yeah.
summertime, you get a cooling blanket.
Ah.
I don't know how they work. Don't know the technology behind it or whatever, but is a perfect temperature regulation for sleeping in summertime.
What's
Well-
funny is that I sleep with a comforter all year round, even in summer.
You also think bagels taste too sweet.
Because it did.
Why are
You have
bagels
a whole
taste-
multitude of list of things that
Why
there's
are
going to
bagels-
be.
What? I'm like, what? How are bagels sweet? What the hell's going on over there?
I don't know what she did. I don't know what she did.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just one of those generic brand ones from Walmart, but it tasted
That might
sweet.
be why.
You sure for
Maybe?
sure you didn't get a cinnamon one, you didn't get a raisin one, nothing like that.
No.
It said plain.
No, it was just plain. There was like nothing on it.
Well, it's American bread, so it's 90% sugar.
It made me.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, you all had like asked me or mentioned that about like the cleanup thing. It's not in this room. I have like data related stuff that I work on here in this room in terms of like cleanup and stuff like that, and also papers. So like I've got like a shit ton of papers to like shred. But as for like physical items for like donate and selling stuff, or even just like packages that we have to throw away, those are all in different rooms.
So you're saying just
in
outside
here.
that door,
Yeah.
it looks like hoarders.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's stacked as neatly as possible, at least, but it's in like 3 different rooms.
Symmetrical book stacking.
If I come to visit, I'm gonna show up with a blowtorch.
No,
I will get a rocket launcher.
You should come dressed like the what's it called in Monsters Inc. The yellow suit guys.
2319!
yeah.
2319!
Yeah. Code 19, whatever the hell they're yelling. It's just Morgan's house.
I love what they did with the sock under the dome. That was actually pretty funny. It was over.
That's you when the sock falls on the floor.
Yeah.
Also, to be fair, like a blanket touching the floor wouldn't be a big deal for me, really. Just like depending on like how clean the floor is. It's just that I know I haven't gotten a chance to sweep the floor recently, and also the laundry room. Sometimes where the laundry falls on the floor happens to be a room where there's actually 2 exits to the outside. Because one goes into the garage and the other goes out to the backyard. So like
so if
people
the
walk
blanket
back
falls
and
on the
forth
floor,
with it.
it's landed in dog shit, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Landon Jane shit. She just poops on the floor outside of Margaret's
Oh,
clean bedroom.
that's gross.
No.
All right. So, Morgan's been cleaning. Zenith, what have you been up to before we roll into the games here?
The opposite, really.
So, I took last podcast off. I've been very, very busy basically this past month, in between lots of stream stuff going. I've been busy with sponsorships. My Factor sponsorship is officially done 5 days from now. And honestly, like stream has really picked up the past few months. So I'm trying to get some like new things commissioned. So that's an awful lot of work because I need to like provide details, and I'm trying to make just sweeping changes, fun changes, to try and get a bit more out of my content. But other than that, I'm also trying to balance some like much needed rest because the world is a lot, as you guys know. It weighs on me deeply. It's not easy being an empath. And Morgan, you can shut the fuck up. Let's see what you're typing.
There's something helpful for you.
Okay, you can tell me after.
No, not right now. I wasn't trying to right now.
And then, so I treated myself to a bomb. So my community hooked me up with this bomb, and so I've been to a spa before because I actually had a tradition for about 3 years in a row. So the first time was on accident. I went to go get a massage, and it was on Super Bowl Sunday. All the men in North America, even in Canada, yes, that's how big Super Bowl is up here. Everyone is huddled around their TVs watching the most masculine thing on television. And I had a middle-aged Asian massaging my ass, and it was very lovely.
Whoa.
So I decided to do it the next year as well, even despite my ex-girlfriend breaking up with me and not being there. So I went alone the next couple of years, and then I just couldn't afford it. So but this time it is at a place called Go Place. Here, I will link it in chat. So if I can click on this, so it's an actual like Asian themed spa, and it's a 5-star. It's a luxury 5-star leisure club and spa. You go in there, you immediately take off. Well, you get like little wristbands, and the cool thing about the wristbands is not only does it like for your locker, if you have to like put your cell phone before you go into like say like a sauna. You just put your stuff in there, and then you lock it with your bracelet, and then use your bracelet again to get your stuff out. So I thought it was pretty neat. There's like a shower room. You immediately change. Like I got myself shorts. So it's only like cost me like $15, which is pretty cheap. And then I had like 3 or 4 showers while I was there because I was covered in massage oils, and B, usually when you're in like a jacuzzi, you might have some grime on you, so you want to try and wash that stuff off.
Chlorine, like that chlorine-ish scent on you too.
Yeah, so you want to wash that out, and so, and then like once you get capacity area, you have like this like a spa attire. Like you're not wearing your own clothes, you're not even wearing your own underwear. Like I could have gone around in a bathrobe, but I opted for like the spa clothes, and I just like carried around a towel all day. So I went for the massage, and it was a deep tissue massage. And so the place, so like you know how you've probably seen like movies about like someone get like a really relaxing massage, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This place was somehow even fancier because there was like violet lights all along the walls. There was like a fireplace. There was like all these like Japanese kind of like bottles and the incense that were trying to like set the mood, and you lay on the table and basically like they cover your head, and he actually hit like some kind of like bell. I think it was like I forget what the right term it was. It was like a bowl that kind of sounds like someone hitting a gong, and was like supposed to put you in a trance, but me, I kind of just laughed at it because I'm like, nah, you can't. That shit don't work on me. So it was very painful, but like what's very cool about it is, like not only did he do the entire back, and he starts with the blanket, so like he massages right through the blanket, and then afterwards he uses like all the massage oils. He massages your arms, he massages your fingers, but in a way where he kind of like pops your fingers as if he's trying to like rip it off, and it's like, ow, but also, ooh, okay, I like that. And then he also massages my head. And it was like really, really nice. But the thing is, though, going into this, I had no idea because I've never been to anything nearly as fancy as this place. So I didn't know what to expect. So he comes. So the masseuse, he's about like he was this age guy about like 28, 29 years old. I was supposed to get in the blanket. I did not quite understand. So he sees me lying on top of the blanket, and basically my shorts kind of half pulled down because I wasn't sure. And he's like, "No, in the blanket." So I accidentally flashed the masseuse a little bit.
You probably blasted that. My eyes.
Wait. Was he surprised, or was he like, ooh?
No.
Probably used to it by this point.
Yeah, probably because I was one of those stupid white guys that's never clearly has never had this happen before.
You're not dumb. You've
So
not done it before.
it was honestly it was very painful. Especially when he was working on like the backs of my legs. Fuck, I wanted to scream.
If you're not used to it, it actually is painful. It's like when you get used to it and accustomed to it and you do it regularly, then it's not as bad.
Yeah. When you're doing deep tissue massages, they use like their fingertips. For deep tissue massages, they use their elbows and forearms, and they apply like certain pressure points to try and work out like all the your tense muscles. And I mean, they're not injuring you, but holy shit, it hurt.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I felt so good afterwards. So if you're actually on that website, there's like a little red room you might have seen, and that is like the room that is, so they had like 3 different spas. So like they had they had jade, they have agate. Apparently like each of the gems actually have different effects. Like for example, I think jade is really good for your eyes, and agate's like really good for if you have any like skin conditions. So actually I spent a whole bunch of time in there. And there was like 2 other saunas I didn't go into, but one was a cold room, which I don't like being cold, no thanks. And the other one was called the volcanic rock room, where it was like 177 Fahrenheit, and I'm not going in there. No thanks.
Nice.
It's way too hot. But yeah, so you go there, you can lie on the many different like bed chairs and just take a nap. And it was really freaking cool. I had like the best teriyaki beef, and they also had like Japanese robots actually come around and serve you your coffee.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
nice,
cool.
Yeah, so it was very cool. It was an extremely awesome experience. Amazing. Went a little over budget, but I had a good time. And then basically I got home and it was back to being stressed because when I got home I found out that I didn't get the townhouse after all. So I'm just like, well, back to reality, I guess. Now I need
the hunt continues. Well, sorry about the townhouse. Yeah, I'm glad you had a good day.
That's all good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
If it's anything like here, I think P.O and I saw 5 places or something like that, and then we found this one. So like you almost never get the first one.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's almost never. It's always like the second or third one you're looking at.
Yeah.
But I'll sell my gamer girl bathwater so you can have a place.
There you go.
There
you go.
Thanks, Morgan. I'll expecting more Tangia effects from you from now on.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, because I'll be able to afford it.
Yeah, you get to tell me to slam my penis in the car door from more often. Thank you.
Yeah, because I did that
Jesus
yesterday.
Christ.
This is how you can
Wow.
tell Eric hasn't been to Zen stream for a while.
I haven't been on anybody's
Yes.
stream for a while, dude. Life is wild.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
been on anybody's
Yeah.
stream for a
Yeah.
while.
So to kind of explain, so Eric, I've been using a program called Tangia, and basically people spend bits, and it does like little overlays for your streams, and I have like well over like 100 different effects, everything from like Walter White like pointing, telling me this person doesn't know what the hell he's doing, to kitties like making mooing sounds. There's the big bird slamming down the door, busting through the door one. And a lot of times, like, so because like these are all like overlays. So recently, in the past 3-4 months, I started playing my games with the what's called OBS preview full screen. So meaning what the stream sees is what I also see. So anytime anyone redeems it, I can't see my gameplay. So
Nice.
So Dill showed you Dame Dene,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So imagine that. It is about 25-30 seconds long, the entire fucking song, and me having that covering my entire screen, not being able to see anything. And also it's very loud, and I can't do that. And it gets redeemed about 20 to 30 times per stream, Eric.
Nice. So you can't do
And
anything.
But I will say this. I will be very transparent. Thanks to Tangia, I don't have to worry about paying rent and bills as nearly as much anymore.
Nice.
So that's how
Nice.
successful it's been.
I'm glad that's working out. You deserve
you.
it.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like I said,
It's an
we'll build
extra
you-
like $700 that I really need, Eric, because life's been hard.
Yeah.
We'll build you a little townhouse in the back here.
Yeah.
Yay.
I don't know how to explain
Morgan,
it
sell
to
your bathwater.
I don't know how to explain it to the landlord, but we'll build you a townhouse right in the backyard.
Did he just say he doesn't need my bathwater?
No, you can sell your bathwater.
Oh, what? No. What? You want extra money?
I want to go to the spa
More.
again. Fuck off.
You want what?
More money.
He wants so he's making a lot off of Tangia. He wants me to sell my bathwater so that he can go back to the spa, even though he's making money off of Tangia.
Well, I mean,
It checks out, I swear.
he's got a taste of the good life now, so why would he not want to keep
Yeah. All
having
of a
the
sudden,
good life?
I'm going to be in like Millionaires Anonymous right next to Everest's page.
Yeah.
Oh my
Millionaires
god,
Monthly.
yeah.
Millionaires
But
Monthly.
yeah, so the reason, thanks to Tangia, like, that's actually like what helped spark the idea of, hey, I should probably try and move to someplace different, because I can now afford being able to move somewhere else. I already have first and last month's rent and stuff for like moving costs and whatnot. So I'm just trying to, speed it up. And this way I can be in an environment where I can be able to be myself, make some noise, and not have to, and also another thing that I miss is being able to cook at whatever hour of the night that I want. So
I feel that.
So I'm trying to work towards it. And it's been a lot of hard work, but fuck, I really enjoyed that spa. What the hell? That was so nice.
Yeah. Good things come to
Yeah.
those who wait. We'll take you back to the spa. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Eric, we'll bathrobe it up. I'll bring you up here.
I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
sit there. I'll get
Good friends, good spa.
Good friends, good spa.
Friends, good spa.
All right. Video game time. We're starting off
Yay.
with Morgan this week because Morgan played the game that everyone seems to be talking about. Morgan, tell us about Split Fiction.
So, Split Fiction, this actually first came on my radar when my sister Jane, aka Aramara, had introduced this to me, and she said this looks really interesting. It would be fun for us to play together, and I agreed. I had a quick look at the trailer, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. So we ended up playing it for the first time yesterday for about like an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour or something. No, not yesterday. Sorry, it was the day before. As I was streaming yesterday. But from what I've gathered of it so far is that it has like it gives me some really strong like Prince of Persia vibes because of like the platforming. The graphics are gorgeous. The story is really interesting, how like you're bouncing back and forth between technically worlds, virtual worlds, I guess. And you have to coordinate with your co-op partner in order to advance, because sometimes there are certain things that you have to do, but you both have to do them together before you can like go further.
So let's wind back just a hair here. So Split Fiction is a co-op like platformer, and it's actually by Hazelight Studios, which are the development team behind It Takes Two, who won Game of the Year 4 years ago at this point.
I think so. Yeah.
2021, I think it was.
2021, right. So this is technically the follow-up to It Takes Two. So this kind of became a big deal right off the bat. It's up to 2 million sold or something like that already. Something like that, I think. But in any case, it's selling extremely well.
Yep.
So yeah, basically it's a co-op platformer, like Morgan stated here. It's along the lines of Prince of Persia and games of that vein. So my questions to you are, I don't know, did you play It Takes Two?
I did not. I believe I actually have that game. I just haven't played it yet.
Okay, so It Takes Two, and this is where some of my questions are going to come from, and it might be hard for you to answer, but It Takes Two was very puzzle oriented. So it's the same concept. You are co-oping with someone, and you work together to solve the puzzles to proceed and traverse through the levels that are handed to you. How is the puzzling in this? Is there puzzles to it? Is it more action, is it more action oriented? Is it like run, jump, evade, or is there some puzzling to this to pass through some of these levels?
There are some puzzles that you have to figure out before like you can progress. They're not really difficult. They're not really too time consuming. So I'd say that they're a little kind of easy puzzles. It seems like it's more action oriented so far, at least. But it is interesting that like the themes that they have in there, because like you've got fantasy, you've got sci-fi. That's like basically the whole thing is that it tosses between fantasy and sci-fi. There's kind of like a little bit of like elements of like ninja type stuff. There's quite a bit of like heavy references of, well, not necessarily heavy references, but there are a lot of similarities with like Prince of Persia. And then there's like a couple of references that are kind of loosely sort of like Assassin's Creed. So it's really, really interesting so far. And honestly, I'm actually a bit addicted to it.
Which is what I'm getting the consensus overall. Like, people are really, really into this game. Pow and I are going to have a playthrough of it for you guys pretty soon here. We're working on it.
Noise.
So, what's the story premise behind it? So the original It Takes Two, not to spoil too much, but the story premise is basically you have a family that's in the middle of divorce or working towards divorce, and then you have a child that basically, if I remember right, the child like shrinks them in some way, shape, or form, or they get shrunk into these little toy dolls.
Wishes that or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something. It's been a minute since we played It Takes Two, but you basically are shrunken down to these little toy knitted dolls, and then as you work together to traverse the levels with each other and get through the missions at hand, your relationship kind of gets rebuilt with your partner. So, what is the story premise behind this game?
I'll try to keep spoilers to a minimum, but this might come with like a little bit of spoilers. So there is a little bit of a spoiler warning with this before I say it. But the premise is that right in like the very beginning, there's these two girls, the two main characters that go to like this publishing company to get their stories published. And basically what ends up happening is all these people are part of what looks like a I forget what exactly is called, but it's some sort of like a study research project sort of thing at this company. They take these people, they put them into like a virtual simulator where you live out the details of your story and they record it.
Oh, like a focus
to-
group maybe, or something along those lines?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but one girl, one of the main characters felt that this was a bit sus, understandably. And she's trying to back out of the deal, and it goes wrong, and she ends up falling into the bubble of one of the other people. So they end up basically getting stuck in between two different stories, and it kind of goes back and forth, and they have to make their way through it to try to find their way back out into the real world.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything like It Takes Two, I don't think there's any really. I don't really think you can do this single player. I think it's straight co-op, right?
No, it's straight. Yeah, it's straight co-op.
Yeah. Like I think
who are you playing with, Morgan?
I'm playing with my sister Ormara.
Oh, how cute,
Jane.
Yeah, Jane.
Nice. So yeah, this game is.
I was looking on you, Morgan, when you were playing it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Pal and I loved It Takes Two. Like, It Takes Two was a totally surprising, in terms of like what I got versus what I thought I was going to get in that game. Because I was one of those like naysayers. I was like, why would this game win Game of the Year compared to all the amazing stuff that came out that year? And it actually is it was actually a well-deserved award. It is a very, very well done game. It's simplistic in its nature. The storytelling is straightforward and very touching. And I can see now why. It's very much similar to the Astrobot scenario, where why would a game so simple win, over these games that achieve so much technology? It's because it's a straight good game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need nowadays is just good games versus these huge technological marvels that like kind of masquerade as good games.
Yeah.
Or under the perception that they're good games because they're so technologically, up there.
Or they threw a lot of money at it.
Yeah.
What I will say about this also is that it looks to me like you can only have one save file at a time. I actually do not have the game. I'm actually playing it through Jane's friend pass. So I think you could probably technically get away with playing it with different people, but it'd probably have to be with like, somebody has the friend pass, you're joining in their game or vice versa or something like that. I think.
So we'll make that clear here for anyone interested in this. You between you and your partner that you're going to play with, you only need one copy of the game. The system uses what's called a friend pass. So whoever purchases the copy of the game can purchase the copy of the game, and then whoever wants to play with them can download what's called the friend pass, and then the owner of the game can then invite the co-op person via friend pass, and you are able to play together, which is amazing because that's what It Takes Two did. Pal bought one copy, and then we played together. I played through the friend pass system, which works here. They've have
done
not
that since A Way Out, the other game before It Takes Two.
So yeah, it's a very, very cool concept that, you only need one copy of the game to do it. It is currently sitting at $49.99 on Steam. I do believe you can get it on, your PlayStation, your Xbox, and no Nintendo Switch yet. But then from what I understand, I can't confirm this, but from what I read, I believe that if someone buys it on PlayStation, you can also cross-platform the friend pass. I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I believe you can.
Okay. Interesting.
So if someone buys, a PlayStation copy and your friend is on Steam, they can still do the friend pass because I believe it all works off the EA, I don't know if it's Origin or whatever anymore, the EA app system where you add your friends there. I believe it works off of that system.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
To add on to Split Faction as well, a recent article came out to say that apparently a Split Fiction movie is possibly in the works, with a bidding war already started on the actual, on the movie itself.
I'm not surprised by
see
any
that.
of that because this thing
Yeah.
sold like crazy.
Yeah. And another thing that I saw as well was that apparently there's a level in the game that's like extremely hard to beat in the level. And and it's an optional level. You don't have to do it for like the story. But apparently there's these two players who beat the level, and then at the end that what was played was a message from Joseph himself, who congratulated them on beating the level, and not only that, has now invited them out to his studio to have an early look at his first next game.
What? That's some Willy Wonka shit, let me tell you.
Yeah, literally. All they had to do was record themselves like beating the level for the first time. They were the first ones that did it. They posted it on socials. Joseph saw it and was like, "Well, you're getting a free trip to our studio then."
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool.
Yeah, that is Split Fiction, $49.99 on your major platforms. And then get a friend, go have fun.
Yeah.
All right. On top of that, Morgan also has some Sonic. Why am I not surprised? Of course there's Sonic.
To be fair, Zen
That's her
recommended
husband.
this. Shut up.
Yes, but Zen also played Sonic 06, and we saw what happened then.
I'm still working on trying to
Yeah,
get a
after the
copy
2
of
hours.
Sonic 06.
Yeah.
That was actually a fun time, even though the game was so busted.
I
But
do not know what's going on, guys. I went to tons of used video game vendors. I went to junk stores. I've tried thrift stores, and I cannot find a copy of Sonic 06.
I think you're better not off like playing the modded version of Sonic 06 called P06, which is a modded version of the game where it actually works.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because I kind of want to taste. I want a taste of the shittiness of it, but
yeah, because that's I feel like that's the other way you can play it now, because it's kind of become lost media at this point.
yeah. Oh,
Which is a shame.
well, actually, I do see some on Amazon.
Oh,
but how
really?
Where's
much?
that? Yeah.
I mean, but let's
How
be
much?
real. I don't want to pay like $30 to play this. I'm looking for that
No.
$5 to $10.
Yeah, how much is it, Morgan?
Yeah.
$16.90, but this is for the PS3 version. I don't know which
Okay,
version
that's
you'd be looking
not
for.
that's not impossible. Okay,
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
have a
you don't have to.
PS3,
Yeah,
so-
Eric doesn't have to sell his bathwater to get that.
I'm spending more in gas trying to find it. Let's see here. Okay, video game.
Yeah, because like I actually have my disc still because like I still have my PS3. In fact, that's actually how I'm playing Sonic Unleashed is through the PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why it's so cheap, Eric, because you have to consider the fact that no one actually wants to play this game.
Oh,
It's either because you have like a humiliation kink of playing it, or you what I like to deem as charity incentive.
it's that
You
bad,
don't
huh?
want to play it, but people would like you to play it.
This is a Sonic.
exchange.
This is a Sonic 06. Take a bean boozle whenever the game crashes on you type scenario, huh?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bad.
Donate $5 to my campaign, and I will play 5 minutes of Sonic 06 and
Oh
all.
God, I
Fucking
love
hate
it. I love it. I want every piece of it.
Or you could wait until Sonic Team possibly remakes it.
I
No, 'cause then they'll
actually
fix
really
it.
want them to.
Exactly.
They
But
won't
this is
fix it.
okay, guys. This is what preservation is all about. Like, we video game preservation is this moment right here where we want this game preserved in its shitty form.
No one in the Sonic community wants that. Ever. Everyone
sorry.
hates that game.
I'm sorry, but the Sonic community is an echo chamber.
That
I
is
want to
true.
play this shit game.
Anyway, Morgan, how is Sonic Unleashed?
Yeah, how's Sonic Unleashed? Let's talk about a good Sonic.
Yeah.
So, I will say that I'm actually playing this on Zen's recommendation because he's telling me that, well, this is his favorite Sonic game and this is the fastest Sonic game out of all of them.
True.
So, I'm actually enjoying this game. I was stumped for a good long while because I did not realize that I had to go back and do like different acts in each country in order to like access enough sun and moon medals in order to progress to like different stages. So I actually finally did that a couple of days ago. I think I'm about halfway into the game now. But I've been enjoying it. I probably enjoy the daytime stages more than the nighttime ones just because of like the speed, the pacing and stuff like that. Although I will say that the next stage that I did a couple of days ago kind of reminds me of a stage in Sonic 06, and it has me a little bit triggered.
Oh.
It is a very pretty stage, though.
Is this one lost to the ages too? Because it is not on Steam.
If I interrupt, so there was a recent update on that where a modding team actually took the Xbox 360 version of Sonic Unleashed and was able to bring it back to life on PC
Okay.
recently. Yeah,
It's a recompiled version, right?
yeah,
Okay,
recompiled
so-
version.
Let's see here. Sonic Unleashed. Where did Sonic Unleashed originally release?
So
I think it
what's
was,
actually interesting is on Xbox 360. It was on PlayStation 3, but there was also a version on Nintendo Wii, and apparently, so I had both the PS3 version and the Nintendo Wii version, and both games are super different. All the stages are way different. It's like it's practically playing a brand new game. Like I couldn't recognize it at all.
Yep. Which is why the Xbox 360 version is the more favored one compared to those versions.
Yeah, but even then, I remember even the Wii version of the last stage. So many game overs. Oh my god.
Why is that? Out of curiosity.
I can't say.
Oh, right. Okay, because that would be a spoiler.
So,
okay, I get
Yeah.
without getting into trouble, is that how we are doing this Sonic Unleashed playthrough?
I'm actually doing Sonic Unleashed also on the PS3 because I have a special like HDMI splitter that makes it where I can connect my capture card in through the splitter that goes into the PS3. So that's how I'm actually able to do like game capture through the PS3 itself.
Yeah, I had to do that
Cool.
too. Nice. Okay, so we're doing the legit copy of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, not the 360 compiled one on PC.
Mhm.
Okay,
I
so
did.
in your list of
Yeah, go ahead.
list of Sonic games that you've played because you've consumed a lot of them. Where
Wait,
does
list of games that I played?
you're in your list of Sonic games that you've played because I'm assuming you've consumed a lot of Sonic.
Probably from like I want to say 2006 and backwards. Yes, afterwards it kind of got a little bit spotty.
So how many games do you think you've played? 10 of them?
I'm not sure. I might have to count them. So there's 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic CD, 3D Blast. I don't know that I can count Spinball. I didn't really play that very much. Adventure 2. So that's what, 8 so far?
8.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sonic 06, Secret Rings. I guess I can technically count Unleashed even though I haven't finished it yet. Generations. I've played part of Colors. I didn't finish it yet.
So you played at least 10 of them.
13.
Yeah, at least 10. Yeah, I'd say.
Okay.
I've at least completed 10.
Okay.
have played,
Where
like, a few
does
more. I
where
haven't
does
finished
Sonic Unleashed rank in your 10 that you've played?
Out of the 13 games you played, then which one do you like? Where is Unleashed on there?
I'd say Unleashed is pretty... So I just noticed that sleeping.
He's just let him sleep. He's back in his sauna. Just let him sleep in his sauna.
He's waiting for someone to come back and see his butt cheeks
I'm
in the
waiting for
sauna
Morgan
again.
to stop talking about all the Sonic she played.
I could talk about that if you want to. I played a lot of Sonic growing up.
I would place it, maybe so far. I might actually place it as number 2 on my list.
Okay, that's not bad. All right, let's look at this here. We're gonna play a little game. According to Kotaku has ranked 18 Sonic games.
Oh God.
From worst to best. Now, I don't know if
no.
Kotaku is the one we could trust with this, but this is the list I could find. That wasn't Reddit. So, who's going to take a wild guess? We're going to play a game here. Who's going to take a wild guess? We're going to pick which one is... You guys are going to pick which one is the best Sonic game to them. According to them, what Sonic game do you think is number 1? I'm going to give you a moment to chomp on that there.
Sonic 2.
Okay, so we have one.
I'm
curiosity?
going to...
Go ahead.
I'm going to say Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Oh, Sonic and
Oh,
Knuckles?
that's good.
Actually,
Yeah.
I changed my answer. Sonic Mania.
Oh,
Say that again?
yeah, he cut out.
Cut out.
You cut out.
Then?
Sonic Mania.
Oh, we lost him completely.
Your mic's scuffed.
Sonic Mania.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so,
Oh,
all right.
oh. Yeah, I forgot. I've actually played and completed Sonic Mania also.
14.
So that's another one.
So here's what we've got. We've got Sonic 2. Like, you're talking the old school Sonic 2, right? The Genesis Sonic 2? Zenith?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Zenith's pick. Sonic and Knuckles is Dill's. Okay, Morgan, which one do you think is the number 1?
Out of curiosity, when was this article written?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because
So,
that might affect my answer.
wait, you guys probably didn't hear what I said. So I changed my vote to Sonic Mania.
Sonic.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second here. This
Isn't Sonic
was
Mania
May.
just the
This was
first
May
3 or
1st of
4
2024.
games? May 2024. Okay.
That
Recent
would have
one.
been before Shadow Generations, I think.
Yes.
So that would not be on that list.
No.
I want to say maybe Mania.
Okay.
I know it was pretty well received, so I want to say maybe Mania.
Okay. None of you guys are right.
Aw.
Uh-oh. What did I hit? I hit something, and I don't know what.
Uh-oh.
I think it's like a... let me... mute this
Is
tab
it like
here.
one of those freaking web pages where you
Yeah.
have to in order to view every single answer, you have to click on the slideshow and it plays like an ad in between each each answer?
That's the problem I'm running into. Sorry about that. Fuck that.
Oh,
All right.
God.
We fixed that
Oh,
problem.
no.
Jesus
We fixed that
Christ.
problem. I muted the tab. Okay.
Good.
None of you guys are right, according to Kotaku. So Kotaku's number 1 pick, their best pick for Sonic was Sonic Heroes on the GameCube.
Oh, I forgot. That's another one I actually played and finished.
15.
Their
That's
best
15.
pick?
The best? Heroes
Why
is
that
okay.
one?
But
That
it's
is
not
their
the
list.
best.
I mean, you already mentioned Kotaku as
Yeah.
the source. These are the kinds of like inbreds that had some very not very what was it like?
Damn.
Damn.
Basically, they're a bunch of like freaking incels over there. I wouldn't take any of
Okay,
their
then.
Oh, damn.
yeah,
Bruh.
no thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, take
Who wants to
anything they
take a
have to say
pick?
with a
Okay,
grain of salt.
let's go the opposite right now. What do you think their worst pick was? Like, what do you think they feel is the worst Sonic game?
I'm
better
gonna
Based
be
off their
06.
logic, Sonic 1.
I'm gonna no. I'm gonna probably say it's my favorite Sonic game, Sonic Adventures 2. I feel like they're gonna probably go that far.
They're gonna do that, huh?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think,
Wouldn't surprise
Morgan?
me.
I could see them doing a good Sonic game dirty, so
Yeah.
maybe Adventure 2.
Okay. What did you say, Zenith? Which one did you say? Sonic 1? Like,
Yeah, Sonic 1. Because they're absolutely fucking brain dead over there.
okay, none of you guys were right yet again. Their absolute worst pick was, and keep in mind this was out of 16 games that they ranked. Their worst pick was Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric.
Okay, that's
that-
fair.
that I
That's
understand.
fair. That is
Okay,
fair.
that's
That
a
was
real
an
shit
unfinished
show.
mess.
Apparently,
You know,
confirmed.
Yeah,
a
it was.
broken clock is right at least twice a day.
Yeah,
That's a good-
if you think that Sonic 06 is bad, the Sonic Boom game was like, it was a colossal what the fuck.
Okay, colossal. What the fuck?
I-
Okay, so confirmed shit show amongst the panel here and Kotaku. Number
I actually-
15. Number 15 was Sonic 06. So
Well,
second worst
That
shit.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, that
That
was the
makes
second
sense.
time.
Yeah.
That was AM. Yeah, Sonic Boom was AM. Now it's PM.
Yeah.
I actually have not played the Sonic Boom games, but I did
I've
watch the
s-
cartoon. The cartoon,
I've
I think, was pretty good.
seen
Not surprised.
footage of the Boom game. It is an unfinished mess.
Ooh.
It is. It was rushed as hell. I think they completed the game within 7 months.
Oh,
And released it. Yeah.
oh, ooh.
All within like the year, and it's bad.
I think you're
It's bad.
describing like at least 5 Sonic games still.
Actually, yeah.
Oh,
It's the
I
same
know
with
where I
Sonic
can go.
06.
I know where I can go to get this fucking monstrosity. There's a very, very famous game store here in North, and I didn't even think to go to this place yet. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I
There's
think
a very
Sonic Boom released on the Wii U. So if you have a Wii U, Eric, there you go.
Oh God, we'll take that one to the aquarium. We got what's it called? We have a very famous used game store here, and I don't know why it skipped my mind all of a sudden, but I did watch a video about them yesterday. It's called Game Dude in North Hollywood, and this place is literally a mecca of used video games.
Cool.
Mm.
If they don't have a copy, we're gonna have a problem.
Okay.
But we will get a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 06. Maybe we'll get a copy of Sonic Boom.
Maybe.
And then
Yeah.
we'll see where the road takes us.
I honestly forgot about Sonic Boom game as well until it was brought up. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that is really bad.
That's a real piece of
Yeah.
shit.
It's so bad I forgot about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's bad.
All right, we'll just name a couple more of the shitty ones here according
Oh.
to this list. Oh, go ahead.
I just remembered, for some reason, I keep forgetting about this game, and for some reason, you all talking about that just remind me. I also played the Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Shadow the
Oh,
Hedgehog
nice cock.
was number 14 on the shit list.
I'm not
Oh.
surprised.
It's not great. I will say
It's-
that. So,
yeah,
Shadow the
it's-
Hedgehog.
They need to
Yeah.
bring. You know what? I was kind of hoping for Shadow Generations. For any time you select anything in the menu, they need to bring back the gunshots. To sound
No!
edgy and cool and.
I feel like there's concept arts that I've seen in Shadow Generations that has him holding guns.
Okay.
I swear there is. I don't know.
Before we move on here, their number one pick was Sonic Heroes. That is their version of the best Sonic game. Number 2 was Sonic Adventure 2.
Yay!
Oh.
Number 3 was Sonic Generations. And
I-
number
mad.
number 4 was Sonic Adventure 1.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, of the 3D Sonics, like they didn't include the originals?
I don't think they
Nope.
included the originals now that I'm looking at this list.
Mm,
And then number
okay,
5
so-
was Sonic Dream Team. You know what?
What the hell is that?
The fuck is Sonic Dream Team?
I've never heard of that.
Is that the
Dream
mobile
Team
game?
is just Morgan's fantasies that we can't talk about.
I think that's the mobile game, right?
The Apple
I'm gonna run you
arcade
over with my
game.
car.
The Apple arcade game is snappy and gorgeous to look.
The fucking mobile game they put at number 5. I wouldn't even put that above the top 10.
Okay, guys.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
I will spend a little more time on this, and we will find a more reputable source here. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I
Jesus
just remembered.
Christ.
I also played Sonic Racing, so that's
You played
what
all of them,
number?
Morgan. Just
16.
stop.
16
Yeah.
games now.
16? Okay.
We know you're a huge fan.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of games that I didn't touch after Sonic 06, with like exception to like Color, Secret Rings, and then
Okay,
Generations.
So
Okay,
you should
here we go, here we
definitely
go, here we
play
go.
Shadow Generations. You should definitely play that, Morgan, if you haven't tried that, because that's really good.
Okay, here we
Yeah,
go.
I want to.
Here we go. This is
Yeah.
the best 25 Sonic games of all time. This is
Ooh,
GamesRadar.com.
25.
Okay, so
Dun,
this
dun,
list
dun,
should
dun.
round out a little bit more here. I will save you we'll save you here. Does anyone want to take a pick at what their best is?
Sonic Adventures 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oddly
Sonic
enough,
Mania.
you are all wrong. This
Aw.
time around, they put Sonic the Hedgehog 2 at number 1.
Okay.
I should have stuck
That's
it
fair.
with my reason.
Fair.
Shit.
Sonic CD was number 2,
Okay.
Okay.
and Sonic and Knuckles was Sonic 3 and Knuckles was number 3.
Okay.
Okay, so they're going for the classics. Nice.
Okay, 5
Nice.
okay, and then 4 was Sonic 1, and then 5 was Sonic Mania.
Okay.
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 Their shit list,
Acceptable.
the shit list side of it, 25 was Sonic Spinball,
I didn't play much of that.
and then Sonic Rush Adventure, which is a
Oh,
DS
dear.
game.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Is
Sonic and Sonic and the Secret Rings. That's a Wii game.
Oh,
That's a Wii game, yeah.
Yeah, that belongs on there.
Yeah.
And then Sonic R.
Oh, that's not crazy.
Sonic Riders. Is that Sonic Riders?
Or
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
Sonic Racing for the
Yeah.
Saturn.
Yeah,
I think that's
Saturn and
called
GameCube.
Sonic Riders
Oh.
in the UK. We call it.
And I don't know what the fuck this is, but
Oh,
Sonic
okay.
Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood was number 21.
Oh,
DS game. The DS
yeah,
game.
that was actually by BioWare.
Mm.
I will have you know,
I'm not kidding.
it doesn't look like
Yeah.
Sonic 06 even made the shit list.
What?
Someone
Ow.
make a good Sonic list for God's sake.
How?
I don't trust any of these lists.
No.
I feel like
Next
I want to rank my own.
franchise.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna probably like message my coworker now and see if she can find a better one because she probably
There you
could.
go. There you go. That's our shit list here. It's so crap. It's assumed to be crap. It's so shitty. It's at the bottom. It's the bottom of list. It's in the
Yeah.
honorable mentions of shit. It's not. Even
Wait, no, there is 2 more that I played. I don't think I really.
Fuck,
I
Morgan,
played
you
So
played all.
18 games now.
No,
I didn't. I
one
just suddenly
cares. No one cares. We're
Let's
fine.
move on.
I don't care.
Let
about
us be
your
free of Sonic now.
You know what, Zenith? You're just biased because if I told you what Sonic games I play, you'd be all interested.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
See, he's just an asshole to me.
I mean, to be fair, Zen has played Shadow Generations recently, so he can't really say anything about that.
I'm gonna come back
Yeah,
next
thank
pod
you.
with a whole fucking essay on Sonic.
Yeah,
06.
honestly, I would say Shadow Generations had it actually had one of the coolest moments for him, and especially if you actually liked Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, there was like a certain part where it's like, okay, this is absolutely badass, and they
Absolute
actually
cinema.
fucking nailed it.
They-
The soundtrack
Okay.
especially.
Let's go ahead and let's talk. Let's talk R.E.P.O with Dill. Dill, what is R.E.P.O?
Okay, so R.E.P.O. Has everyone here played Lethal Company?
Yes.
Yes.
I have it. I have not played yet.
Okay, so 2 of you play real Lethal Company. Imagine Lethal Company. Similar concept. We have to extract materials, and you get money for it, and basically have to like make it meet a certain goal in order to basically get out off the map and be free.
Okay.
Imagine that, but like these weird kind of like Android logo looking characters that can be in any color. The my in-game microphone is what you use to communicate.
They look
There's a
like
TTS system that you can also use too, which I've tested and it's fucking hilarious. And some of the stuff that you can pick up alters your speech patterns, makes your TTS go off every so often. There's like monsters in there as well that are actually incredibly terrifying, but because of how funny this game can be, it's more like a dark like comedy horror game in a way.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
it's
They
like
look
Lethal
like-
Company but funny.
they
Yeah.
look like the Temu version of the old fucking
They do.
Android robots, like
They
from
do.
what, Google Android.
They do. And the funny thing
Oh,
is
yeah.
that when you talk in the microphone, the mouths move open on your character. So it's like you're actually talking through the characters themselves. And like, it's so funny. It's such a fun game. And like, I've seen so many clips of this game over the last few weeks on like my FYP page. I've been laughing my ass off of them because of how like hilarious they are.
So,
There's this. Okay, go on.
when I first heard about this game, I actually heard it from my emo artist.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, when I saw her art, my first impression is, why did you animate a talking condom?
Oh,
shows you
shit.
how little I knew. about
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But to give you an example as well of how hilarious this game is.
What a way to go viral, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hello,
No, no.
TikTok.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
But to give you an example, so there's certain items that can affect your characters, basically. There's one that's a love potion, which makes your TTS go off randomly, which is like
What?
really like insane. Yeah. So because like the TTS system you can enter like obviously to make your character talk if you want to use in-game mics. But the love potion makes your character like suave talk other characters in the actual like game itself, which is really weird. And then there's another one called the Time Hourglass, where if you pick it up, it makes you go really slow. It makes your eyes go like from small little like pupils to massive pupils. And it makes your microphone speech automatically slow down, so you sound really deep and slow. So that, like,
This game looks amazing.
it really is. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, Davey said it right there. When I picked up the love potion, suddenly she was getting compliments from my character because we were playing this for like an hour after during my stream. Another for that. There's also a eye monster as well in the game, where if it makes contact with you, it attaches to you and does the opposite of the Time Hourglass, where it will actually make your speech go faster and make you like sound really high, like you're on helium.
This
And it's
this
really
looks
fun.
incredible.
It is. It's also really cheap. It's like $10 for the
Yeah.
game.
$10 on
Yeah.
Steam if you were curious. Here, $9.99.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is on any other platforms, but it's definitely on Steam.
It's
if you
not.
want to check this out.
It's
Okay.
early access right now, so it won't be on any platforms until it gets out early access.
Nice.
Yes.
That is.
But yeah, it's so fun.
that is R.E.P.O.
Yep.
Uh,
And if you want to have a right belly old laugh, search R.E.P.O clips on like social medias. I kid you not. I showed this to my coworker at work. She was in tears laughing because of how like funny some of these like clips are.
Yeah.
Yep.
damn.
Yep.
R.E.P.O. over on Steam, $9.99. This game looks amazing. I might try to jump on this thing.
Oh, if you want to, I think me, Morgan, and Zen are gonna be jumping on it after like the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can.
Absolutely.
Let's see what we can do. I might be on the Sonic 06 hunt.
Again, abandon it. Join us in R.E.P.O.
Maybe I got Pal's mom's coming tomorrow. Maybe I got some time in between then. We'll see what happens.
Ooh. All right.
Okay. We'll jump over to Zenith here. Zenith is doing his first playthrough of Chrono Cross.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So on Steam, they back in 2022, they announced what's called the Radical Dreamers edition of so basically it's like a remastered version of the PlayStation 1 classic. So Erik, you played Chrono Trigger, right?
Oh yes, I will talk about Chrono Trigger in a sec. Well, actually, you know what? We'll just kind of go before we get there, since we're on the topic of it. I finally broke down, and I finally bought the Steam version of Chrono Trigger. I have not played it yet, but they have apparently patched up the Steam version of Chrono Trigger, and it's actually quite pleasurable to play now. But from what I hear, there is a huge modding community behind this, and from what I understand, there is a group of people that are actually recording voiceover in the dialogue.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
So to kind of assess, for those that do not know, we'll talk about it here for a second. Those that do not know, Chrono Trigger is considered one of the most beloved RPGs of all time. If anyone from, a reasonable age range, 30s or, probably 30s to 40s, anyone in a reasonable age range like that has spanned multiple gaming generations, Chrono Trigger is almost always in the top 5 of RPGs.
I only first heard about that game through Dr. Lupo because he said it's one of his all-time favorite games.
It's an incredibly well done game, and it was it was extremely advanced for the time. It's one of the first games to have multiple endings.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep.
And basically a new game plus.
Ooh.
And this was during the Super Nintendo era.
Cool.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
this
like
is a highly,
96.
highly beloved game. With that being said, the Steam version, the modding community doing all this kind of stuff is really going to put the whole new, twist on Chrono Trigger and doing voiceover work and all that stuff, which is incredible.
Yeah, I think they were probably like the first person. Well, it was the first game that ever introduced New Game Plus.
Right. I think it is the game. I don't know about multiple endings. It's one of the first to do multiple endings, but I think it's the first game to do New Game Plus. So Chrono Trigger is a very, very, very important game in video game history. It's extremely, extremely important, and it's an incredible game.
So with that said, have you ever played Chrono Cross?
I have not played Chrono Cross. From what I understand, Chrono Cross is the spiritual successor or spiritual sequel.
Well, you would say... So
Continue.
I was kind of in the... so I'm not going to say any spoilers. So you say spiritual. Like, do you mean spiritual in the sense of where it's in the similar vein of Chrono Trigger, but not quite?
From what I can gather is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, from what I can gather, Chrono Cross is a sequel in spirit in that it takes place in the same world, and there are loose references to Chrono Trigger.
No.
Okay, continue.
There was a lot more.
Educate, continue.
Than I thought.
Ooh.
Because I'm already coming across certain locations and certain characters and hearing certain names and about certain events that were actually transpired in Chrono Trigger. And it's starting to come together, but I'm learning that there is more of a link between Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger than I thought, and that is what's getting me so freaking hooked to this. And I will say this without spoilers. Eric, I currently have 2 characters that were your party members in Chrono Trigger in my party.
You're shitting me bricks. No way.
No, I am not kidding.
Oh, fuck. Okay, how much is this? There is a Square Enix publisher sale right now.
Yeah. So basically, here's the thing, though. In order to get to those characters, it's not quite as obvious, but it's definitely them. And in order to get one of the characters, I've had to be very particular about my choice of gameplay.
Okay.
Morgan, so I didn't realize, and what's actually really cool about this is that your choices really matter in this game. Because I actually played Chrono Cross for just a little bit when I was younger, and I knew nothing about it. But I remember I was going through a certain path, and I was like, oh, why don't I have this character in my party? That would have been nice. Or, okay, cool, I got this person. And then I decided to go with different choices this time. And then I realized how much the game has changed, how much and how different. Like, I actually, based off my decisions, I locked myself out of going to 2 huge areas of the game. And I went in an entirely different route. And the characters that are currently following me are way different than my original route. And it is so. Chrono Trigger. How many characters are in there, Eric? We have Chrono, we have Marley, we have Luca, then we have Frog, who is in my party.
What the fuck? Really? But it's Frog. It's not like the same race as Frog. Like, it is Frog.
It's not. It's not Frog. It's Glenn.
What the fuck is
Which
this
was
game?
his original name. It was his. So that was his name before he turned into a frog.
Yeah. What in the world?
And the other person that's in my party, Eric, is Magus.
What the fuck is going on?
Eric's mind is blown right now.
But his name's not Magus.
Magus was the bad guy.
Here's the thing. In Chrono Trigger, play the DS version. Why? Because it actually explains why he's not known as Magus in Chrono Cross.
Huh. Huh. Okay,
And
we
I'm just
will.
like, yo.
That sounds like some kind of like Kingdom Hearts shit. With like play a different game in order to like
Play
understand the
a
lore
different
behind
game
this.
just so you can understand what's going on than what you're currently playing.
Yeah.
It actually turned up elusive because actually like Magus is supposed to have like a bigger part of Chrono Cross story, but because he's such a unique and fascinating character based off the events that happened in Chrono Trigger, they just didn't have the time, and they didn't want to spend all this time trying to explain his character and like what happened in between then. So what they instead did is for Chrono Trigger for the DS, I actually went and back and looked at it. So if you play the DS version, they have like this post game kind of thing where it's before you go into New Game Plus, and actually sets up the events for Chrono Cross, and explains what happened to Magus.
Dude,
And why he's
I've got a list of shit going on. Now I got to add this to the list. Okay.
I've already added both games to my wishlist on Steam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, as it stands, I am what the fucking because it's because I love the concept of time travel.
Oh yeah.
So the thing is though, with time travel, it doesn't exactly quite play a role in this and as you think. I can't exactly say why, but I'm starting to realize that like, oh man,
Okay.
what is going on? And I'm so fascinated by it. And during my playthrough of it, I'm actually playing it on stream, but unfortunately, I think it's like better to be played as a game that's either on your own or in Discord, which I will be doing.
Yeah.
But I've had Morgan to help me out with voice acting, and Morgan was there when voice acting one of the characters who's like literally on her deathbed, and she's like, "Save me, Zenith, please," and I'm just like,
No.
"Hey,
No.
you guys want any coffee or anything? Let's hit the fuck. Let's go.
Are you doing this on Steam or are you doing this on PlayStation?
Steam."
Okay. Okay.
Because they actually updated the graphics a bit. So like
Okay,
at least
cool.
like the character models, the lot of pixelization that they have with the PlayStation version is just gone.
You okay there, Morgan?
Yeah, I was just laughing about something that I read there.
There is a Square Enix sale right now.
Yep.
Chrono Cross falls under this umbrella, so Chrono Cross is $7.99.
Chrono Trigger is like $3, $3 or $4.
Skip your Starbucks for a day and go buy Chrono Trigger.
I'm tempted to, honestly.
You know what?
Yeah, then, yeah.
Hold on. I can't do
Spoon.
this. I can't do this. Hold
I'm
on.
sorry.
Hold on. While Morgan gets herself together.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna buy the game now.
I'm buying stuff. Hold on.
Yeah. Bum-ba-dum.
Don't just bear with me, people. Don't mind me. I'm just handling business here because I'm going to
You're
forget.
good. No worries.
I'm going to forget.
thanks for-
the game.
Also, thank you for sharing that clip, Morgan. Because I kind of couldn't. I don't remember what happened there.
It was really funny. Let me see if I can go find the actual first one of that same spot, in fact.
There we go. We have taken care of business. Dill, happy birthday. Go enjoy Chrono Trigger for the day. Go on, look at me like that.
Bastard. about to buy the game myself.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Happy birthday, Dill. Dill, this is
I was about to buy the game myself there, but all right.
no, Dill. Happy birthday.
birthday.
Seriously, let me give you the gift of true video game greatness.
Well,
But-
you also bought me Final Fantasy VI for Christmas.
I don't
so-
think I bought any of that.
And
Well,
you bought me
it's
two
kind
main
of crazy
trilogy
that
last
it's
year.
now your birthday, right?
It is a birthday, yeah.
Yeah.
So
At least for another 3 hours.
yeah,
Mhm.
go play some. I do ask one thing of you though. I would not play it on stream.
No.
I would go play Chrono Trigger and just you, yourself, and I, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and just you're gonna get
Is that
lost
because
in
of spoilers?
Huh?
Is that because of,
Possibly yes.
spoilers?
Possibly yes,
Yeah.
but I feel like Xena said, Chrono Trigger is one of those games that should be enjoyed the way it was intended when it was released, and that's you.
Actually, for Chrono Trigger, I think that'd be a really good one for stream because there's some parts of that game where I would love to know Dill's reaction.
That's possible
he's
too.
Kind of
Where he'll
like
be like,
okay,
"What the
so kind of like
fuck?"
when I was playing Rebirth, and you really wanted to know what my reaction to the ending was. Then, yeah, because that's why he was there.
Oh yeah.
And he was getting. I remember one part as well. Zen was getting mad at me for my gameplay because I wasn't healing. He was like, "God fucking damn it, heal, Dill, heal."
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about health. It's there for you to live.
Yeah, but at the same time, kill.
So yeah, enjoy.
It's kind of like
do it as you choose. I personally, I would
Yeah.
play it as just sit in front of the TV, computer, whatever you're doing, and then just chill and enjoy it because I
Yeah.
truly do think it was special. It was special when it was released.
Yeah.
It's special now.
Yeah. I also do this thing as well where like I'm playing Jump King at the moment, and the funniest thing about Jump King is not me falling, it's my chat's reaction to me not getting angry at me falling. It's it's so hilarious. It's why I'm keep playing it because I'm like, hey, whatever, and my chat's like, are you fucking serious? Why do you keep falling? And I'm like, it's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dame used to channeling like the rage for you.
The other day,
all right.
and I made it back within the hour, Damie. I fell all the way down to the bottom from halfway up, and I made it back within the hour.
You did
Done.
it! Yay!
Yay!
anyway,
Anyway,
onto
Chrono Trigger.
my nonsense.
Cross. Yeah.
Onto my nonsense. So, nothing too as exciting as this panel's here, but I'm still working through Final Fantasy IV on the Pixel remaster. I'm so close to finishing. Oh, there's a ducky on the
Cool.
screen.
Aw, ducky.
There's
Yes.
a ducky, but I don't see it
Zen,
on.
Why is the duck
So you triggered it, and it didn't go away.
What? Why was there the duck there?
That was the duck that Morgan used to hide her fart, and then it just
Wait, what? Huh? What? Where? What? I'm confused.
nothing. You didn't hear nothing. Nothing was told to you. Anyway, I'm working on my nonsense. I'm still working my way through Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. I'm so close to finishing this game. I think this is the furthest I've ever gotten it, and I'm so close to finishing, and it's so good.
Cool.
It's so good, and like I'm loving all the stuff they did in the Pixel remasters. They did some updated kind of 3DS stuff for the cutscenes. Not quite as nice as Octopath Traveler's graphics, but there is some updated stuff that they've done to the cutscenes, makes them a little bit nicer, for a pixelized game. But these games are so perfect for like the Steam Deck. They're so lightweight. You could play them on your TV, pull it off, take it wherever you're going. I was playing at the laundromat yesterday. Like, great way to play them. Still working my way through that. I'll probably have it done by the next pod. I'm pretty close. I think I got like 2 or 3 hours left.
Cool.
But yeah, that's Final Fantasy 4 on the Pixel Remaster, those are also on sale on Steam. I think the Pixel Master Collection is like $55, give or take.
I picked it up.
So
Cool.
jump on those if you can. They rarely go on sale, so that might be, if that's an incline, $52.36 for the full Pixel Remaster set.
Okay.
So jump on those if you haven't and you're interested in playing those old Final Fantasies, because they really do hit. They're good. 6 is amazing. Play 6. 4 is just as amazing. So good stuff in there. And then Sony was kind enough to do the PlayStation Plus, free games every month or whatever. They still do that thing. They were gracious enough to give out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Cowabunga Collection, which got me super excited because a lot of those games are from my childhood. It is basically a collection of all the Ninja Turtle games, ranging from like the original 80s arcades to, I believe, Super Nintendo.
Cool question.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know about Final Fantasy VI. Like, how long would like a single playthrough be?
Hang on a minute. How long to beat
25 hours?
Okay, because like I hear about.
Ooh.
Oh right, so like we were talking about like the amount of characters. Because I completely forgot to mention to you. Hold on a second. So how many characters does Final Fantasy VI have?
The party goes in and out, but you for the most part have a party of 5. But characters jump in and out.
Okay. Let's see.
I stand corrected. Final Fantasy IV was about 25 hours. Final Fantasy VI is 34 hours roughly, according to how long to beat.
Yeah.
Okay. So I completely forgot to mention this. I don't know. Blame ADHD. So Chrono Cross has 45 different playable characters. 45.
Christ.
Oh,
Okay then.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And a lot of them aren't. You have to be very careful about your decisions, because otherwise, like every single playthrough will be different based off of your decisions. Because the characters you get will be in entirely, like, just extremely different.
So that was kind of what Chrono Trigger did too. Like the decisions you make affect the type of ending you get to an extent. So
Not nearly as much with Chrono Cross, because like Chrono Trigger, you can still get like each ending, but there's like a small little handful of decisions that will like affect your ending, and a lot of times it would just depend on when you choose to do a certain thing. Yeah, I won't spoil for Dill now that Dill's got a Chrono Trigger, but for Chrono Cross, like your decisions are actually like just massive, will greatly change your playthrough.
Damn, that's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I will key it in there somehow. I will. Maybe we'll skip Sonic 06 and we'll spend $8 on.
It was cheaper for you, man, and less stressful.
Yeah, but yeah. So the Sony was gracious enough to issue out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Cowabunga Collection. It is a collection of Ninja Turtle games ranging from, like I said, from the original 90s arcades up through the Super Nintendo era. That's Genesis included. So you're getting a lot of classics in there. You're getting the classic arcades. You're getting Turtles in Time from Super Nintendo. You're getting Hyperstone Heist from the Genesis version. The Tournament Fighters games that were released on both those platforms. You're also getting the Game Boy the Game Boy games, the trilogy on the Game Boy. First thing I jumped on, and I only jumped on the one game to start, was I went to the original like late 80s, early 90s Ninja Turtle arcade, which there's no other way to play except, through your emulation and MAME cabinet work. And I wanted to see how they would handle certain things with it. One being like, how does the 1-up system work? Because obviously the game took quarters. So all they did was you press start and it adds life to your character.
Okay.
So you press start and it adds a 1-up. Which was a nice little touch. And the cool thing about it that I really, really enjoyed is when you played the original arcade, you dropped in a quarter and you would get the Cowabunga sound effect. And they have retained that when you press start in this collection. So it was a nice little touch for my childhood nostalgia. I realized real quick the difficulty of the game when you were playing by yourself, because the original arcade was intended to play with 3 other people. Each person would play a turtle, and then you would do the co-op and play through all these levels. It's your old school fashioned beat 'em up, like your Streets of Rage or Final Fight, anything like that. So it's intended to play with 3 other people, and I realized the difficulty, because it's difficult, was because obviously it was an arcade game. It was intended for you as a kid to pump quarters into the game and keep going. So the difficulty is up there. It's a little splotchy in some places, like your hitboxes are off. You don't always land your hits on characters and bad guys and stuff like that, and it's kind of frustrating. But it hits all those nostalgia points. I don't know if any of you guys would really remember here. Maybe some people in the chat here would remember, but playing this and this old school arcade, version of Ninja Turtles, it makes me hope that somewhere, someone down the line, gets a hold of the old Simpsons arcade, the old X-Men arcade machine cabinets, and like re-releases those on a collection of some sorts.
No,
I would really,
I want Simpsons Hit and Run on modern day platforms.
Right.
I want that back.
There was an old Simpsons side scroller beat 'em up. If you go to like your old, you'll see it a lot if you go to like your old barcades and stuff like that, where they have a little old cabinets. Those games are almost always there. They either have X-Men, Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, or they have the Simpsons game. And they were old school side scrolling beat 'em up games. And like the Simpsons ones was great. Like your weapon as Bart was a skateboard, Margie's a vacuum cleaner. Really, really classic games, and I hope someone gets a hold of those and like puts it into some kind of collection, because there is no other way to play those.
Yeah.
But that is the Chibi's late. Yes, Chibi. Sorry, late. You're sorry, Chibi. You be late.
Good news, Chibi. I now own Chrono Trigger. Blah.
Blah. But yeah,
because of some
that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. So if you have the PlayStation Plus or whatever, the base PlayStation Plus account, that is currently free till the end of the month, along with Dragon Age, not Inquisition. What's the last one? Veilguard.
Veilguard, yeah.
You can get the latest Dragon Age game for free if you have a PlayStation Plus account. So go jump on your PlayStation, fire that up, get a free Dragon Age game. But that is all I'm working on. So at this point, we'll go ahead and we'll take a break. We'll get recoup here a little bit. This is Good Friends, Good Games, and we'll be right back. All right, Good Friends, Good Games is back. Batman drop kicks a child in a new Batman comic for everyone out there interested.
What a way to start to going back there. Yeah.
Batman drop kicking children.
Batman.
There you go. Absolute Batman. Go read it. Which reminds me, I completely forgot. I got WonderCon next weekend, which is the sister to San Diego Comic-Con. I only bought one day this year. We're saving money. I only bought the one day.
Fair enough.
I also missed Collecticon, where Charles Martinet was. I could have had my photo with Martinet, but I didn't pay for the ticket.
Aww.
No, you missed it. You should have asked Charles Martinet, my personal friend. We hung out together once. Yes. I may have paid for it, but yeah.
Your personal friend, huh? He comes over, watches all the football games with you.
Yeah, we just go. We go to Tim Hortons together.
No, you don't.
You're like, hey, what did they call Tim Hortons up? Is it like Timmy's or something like that? What do they call what's the slang for Tim Hortons?
Tim's or Timmy's.
Yeah, Timmy's. You're like,
Timmy.
Hey,
we go to Timmy's, grab ourselves some Timbits, and grab ourselves a double.
He likes he likes Tim's bits.
Oh, there you go. She got you. Just admit defeat.
Dun dun dun.
He's got that face like he's plotting my murder.
Probably is.
He knows he got handled, and now he doesn't know how to respond. But anyway, you call up Charles, asking him if he wants to go to Timmy's, and he just goes, "Wahoo!" That's the extent of the conversation. You okay there, Zena?
Yeah, I'm fine.
No, okay,
He's fine.
You look a little upset about Tim's bits.
I'm good. Yeah, Tim's bits is great. I actually won free 10 Timbits. Basically, it's donut holes, if you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay. I got myself. I'm gonna treat myself to some free Timbits tomorrow.
Okay. They do? Okay, so like when you get donut holes here, obviously the donut holes are the remaining dough from when they make the donuts, right? So do they is it actually a staple thing there where they have multiple flavors, or is it like?
Yeah.
Oh, see, we
there's
don't do that.
old-fashioned- Weird, because yes, you have your old fashioned plain, but like we have like chocolate glaze, we have sour cream glaze, we got birthday cake, which is good as well. My favorite is when they had the cinnamon powder,
Cinnamon.
and then they have honey cruller. So there's a lot of great flavors for it.
Oh yeah, see here the donut shops, they'll only do them like they'll do the glaze and they'll do like the sprinkle and that's it.
That's pathetic.
Maybe you'll get the powdered sugar ones or something like that, or the cinnamon.
What about Krispy Kreme? Krispy Kreme do variety of stuff.
I don't know. I think they do variety like donut holes, but like your standard, we call them pink box, like your standard mom and pop like pink box donut place.
Yeah.
They usually only do like sprinkles or glaze for the donut holes.
What about Dunkin' Donuts?
I haven't been to Dunkin' in a good minute. I'll swing by a Dunkin' to assess the situation.
Last time when Dunkin' Donuts got Rocky Road Donut, it was delicious.
Rocky Road Donut?
Yeah.
That was here in America?
No, UK.
Oh, UK? Okay. Huh. Yeah. I'm going to go assess the situation. Donut holes are good. When you don't want a full-on donut holes are good.
All right.
But there's still no Tim Hortons anywhere near LA, and it's driving me nuts.
My nearest Tim Hortons is 2 miles away.
Oh my God. We got the other one that's popping up, Dutch Bros or whatever. Dutch Bros Coffee, I think, is a popular one that's springing up around here. I did go to this one. It's very LA popular. There's only like one or two in LA, but they're incredibly well known. It's called Sidecar. And they did basically like a huckleberry donut. Have you had a blueberry donut, Zenith? Like from Tim Hortons?
No, they don't have them.
They don't have them? Okay.
They've had blueberry donuts once, yes, which I did. I thought it was all right.
Okay. I love a blueberry.
Really
I love a good blueberry donut. It reminds me of like eating the blueberry Fruit Loop.
Ooh.
It's got very similar taste. But
That one's good.
They did what's it called? What was it called again? I just said the name too, and it's all of a sudden I had a brain fart.
Boom.
It basically tasted kind of like a boysenberry donut, and it was very strong sweet berry taste, and it was really really good. And then they had this one called the Christmas tree cake, which was very birthday cakey with like the sprinkle, the confetti birthday cake. It was like that, but in donut form, and it was fantastic. I love a good donut. Like I said, I'm very much a big donut person. Okay, so we all have them. We all done it. We all have a game that's old school that we keep going back to some way, shape, or form. Now, obviously, between each of us here, retro is a different thing. So, although Dill's catching up, he's catching up. So, what are some of those old school games you guys keep going back to and you just can't let go? We'll start with Zenith. Let's give Zenith the whirl here.
Ooh, this is kind of tough because I replay a lot of randomizers, which obviously means that I'm replaying like the same game over and over again, although it's like a different experience every single time. But if I can try and put aside things like randomizers, I think a game that some of the games that I do love coming back to quite frequently is games like Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay, that's a good one.
That is a game that I love coming back to no matter how many times for whatever reason.
Good memories.
Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, another game that I love coming back to so many times. So the same with the original. And another game that I find myself coming back to is, before Blizzard pissed me off, was Diablo 2. That is another very replayable game. But then there's also I've been on like a bit of a farming game kind of kick, so I've also been playing some of the older Harvest Moon games.
Okay. What about
And-
Mario 3 kind of what about Mario 3 fills that comfort void?
So Mario 3, I like the idea of, because it's short, it's quick, I can easily just come back to it, and kind of just be like, hey, what if I did a playthrough where I used the Tanuki more, or what if I did a playthrough where I was playing as a frog at like any chance that I can get. So like, because like there's like very unique like abilities that Mario gets in that entire in that game, it's kind of tough for me to have like this similar experience with Super Mario World, because yeah, you can, you know, go through many Yoshi many levels, you know, as Yoshi, or but also like the Fire Flower and the cape, that doesn't exactly give you like a lot of variety as far as like how you play the game. It's still essentially the same, except do I fly through the stage, or do I just shoot everything with my Fire Flowers, or eat everything as Yoshi?
Right.
So yeah, that's why I love coming back to Super Mario Bros. 3. There's just something special about it. It has like a lot of replay value for me, which is great for, especially for like a game so old. Especially, I like to play the Super Mario Brothers the Super Mario All Stars version, where they had like, where it was upgraded to the Super Nintendo graphics.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like that was such a treat, being able to have like a game that was like so full of color, because I played the original for the NES, and just having it for the Super Nintendo, I know 16-bit glory is just fantastic every single time.
Did they ever reissue the Super Mario All-Stars set, the Super Nintendo set?
Mm-mm.
Nope. I mean, you can play Super Mario All-Stars on the Switch Online.
Okay. And they've never released those updated versions of the original Mario Brothers games anywhere else, huh?
No, it was just strictly for the Super Nintendo or playable on Switch Online. But the thing is, though, the version that I had when I was a kid was a version that also included a Super Mario World, because the version that they have for Super Mario World actually updated how Luigi looks, where he doesn't just look like Green Mario. Yep. So that's the version that I remember playing when I was a kid.
That's cool. I didn't know about that one.
Yep.
I know there was two versions of it. One included Mario, but I didn't know one included like an updated Luigi. The one included the updated Luigi. That's neat. You got any others before?
Well, a couple of others that I play like are these generic RPG games. As a matter of fact, a version of like, I came back to playing, like, I've probably gone back and played like the old Wizardry game many times, which is what I was basing the interactive chat plays game campaign that I'm currently doing, but just the older version, not the remaster, because that just came out within the last year. So I've gone back and played that so many different times, because I like the idea of how your characters grow and build is entirely different, and at any point in time anything can happen, something goes wrong and you lose your characters, and it's always just it's a game that keeps you on your toes no matter how much you played it. So no.
How about you, Dill? What do you go for? What old school classic game do you go back to?
So, in terms of classic games, obviously mine is different from all of you guys's, because your guys' is more like the, I don't know, like the late 80s to early 90s kind of stuff.
Basic cartridge era, yeah.
Cartridge era, yeah. The one that stuff that I go back to every year is my 3DS, which is, before you say it's a 3D game, It's not. It's a DS game, and the DS is over 20 years old, so technically it is a classic.
It counts. It counts.
It counts. I go to get this game right here, which is called Advance Wars Dark Conflict, which is kind of like an RTS styled like combat war game that I replay like once a year, just out of curiosity. Which is kind of like just a story of like an apocalyptic event happens. The main character you play as is like a sole survivor, or well, not sole, one of the survivors of the apocalypse, and then the whole like quest of like, you know, the entire game is trying to institute peace in an apocalyptic event where it's every man for himself, and there is like conflicts between like still different like surviving nations that are still at war with each other. So you have to like fight through all these enemies until eventually you get to the end where you eventually find peace and like tranquility and stuff like that. It's a really interesting story, and honestly, a really interesting game that I like going back to once a year. Honestly, just like once a year, I will just put it back up. I'll play it. The first half of it, I feel like is like not too hard for me because I'm still familiar with it. When it gets to the second half, that's when difficulty ramps up, and I struggle with it, and I have to like every so often look at a guide to like how to beat it, because it can get pretty tricky. Like the difficulty can ramp up. So that's like one example of a game that I go back to. Another one that I do. Well, actually, any questions before I move on to the next one?
No, I didn't know there was so many Advance War games. I thought it was just the 1 and 2 that they were re-released, and then that was it.
I've not played those yet, though I do want to, because I really enjoy. This is the first one I ever played, and I really enjoyed it. I still replay it every so often. But yeah, it's like
one of the new remaster for Advance Wars already released.
That's for 1 and 2.
Yeah, okay. That came earlier.
This game is like, I think the 6th or 7th game they released in the series, something like that. This is like, you know, because I think this is back in like the Game Boy era when they like first started releasing Advance War games.
Right, Advance War was Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Well, how many games are there? Let's see, games list.
Quite a few.
Let's get a number here.
Yeah.
There are, according to Wikipedia. Oh, good lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's more than just that. This series goes all the way back to the Famicom, which is the original Nintendo.
Oh, damn. Even
so I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12. If you count the Switch one, there's 13 games. There. So it goes all the way back to the Famicom. It was called Famicom Wars.
Mm.
And then they did a release on Game Boy. Not Game Boy Advance. We're talking Game Boy. And it was called Game Boy Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, the first ones we saw in America, it looks like, were the Advance Wars.
Yeah, and also the American title for this game is Advance Wars Days of Ruin rather than Dark Conflict.
Oh, okay. That explains this here, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's like the UK version, or the Europe version was called Dark Conflict rather than Days of Ruin.
I'm very, very close to going and just getting Japanese stuff now. I think my US games are done. I'm really, really like tempted to go find a good conditioned Famicom and a good conditioned Super Famicom.
I'm pretty sure some of those stores visited in like Little Tokyo had some pretty good stuff.
Have one. It's just so expensive.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like I can find a Famicom at like a yard sale or a garage sale or something, and the person doesn't know what they have, because obviously it's a Japanese one, like it's imported.
Yeah.
So I have to find it. You know, it's a specialty way, like it's a specialty item here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's like one thing I return to like at least once a year. Another one that I return to as well. Do any of you guys have ever played the really old school Yu-Gi-Oh games, like before the rule sets that were all put in place and everything like that?
Cow might have, but I have not.
Yeah, because like there's like the series of Yu-Gi-Oh games that were released before the actual rules were made for the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, where there was a bunch of them that was like anything goes for what they all have their own sets of rules and everything like that, and they all have their own like, you know, ways of playing the game, which is very different to the modern day and age where it is now and everything like that. Two games in particular that I go back to and play every so often is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards and Yu-Gi-Oh! Reminisces of Destruction, which is like a sequel to Sacred Cards. And the way it's different from the modern day series is that the attribute type on the cards actually is significantly and it makes an impact on the gameplay, where like similar to Pokemon, there are similar types that are like strong against one and weak against one. If one combats the other and they're weak to it, that other one, like that one is destroyed basically because of the typing. And it was a really interesting like game that I just like come back to. And the way that you have to like play it is like you had to have a certain duelist level in order to play certain cards. So you had to like actually like play the game and duel a lot of duelists to grind your level up so that you could have a really good deck in the actual game itself. Whereas in modern day, you can just buy whatever and use whatever. This one actually made you work for it. Like really, really work for it.
There's actually a deck building skill set behind the game.
Yes.
Interesting.
Basically. Yeah. Those two I go back to maybe once every few years. They actually, though, released on both PC and the Switch a Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days collection, where they have 14 games from before the rule sets were put in place in one bundle for like, I think $60 or something like that on like PC and like Nintendo. I haven't bought it yet. I'm gonna wait for a sale first before I actually buy it, because I want to like wait for it to become a bit cheaper before I actually get it. But like, I'm probably gonna pick that up whenever I get a chance to, because it has like both Reminisces of Destruction and Secret Cards on that, which is cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never touched the old Yu-Gi-Oh games. I remember them. I think I was in college by the time those games started coming out.
I think I have my Reminisces of Destruction somewhere in my collection. I have that one like physically, and then Sacred Cards I play via emulation because there's no way to get that at the moment.
Was it a US only release?
Sacred Cards I think had a Europe release, but I've never been able to find it in like old school stores because it was like released back in like 2001 or something like that.
They probably didn't do a big print run.
That's why I emulate it instead, because it's easier. But now if I get this collection, I can actually officially own it.
Nice, yeah. It's probably just a slow print run on that one.
But yeah, and then I think that's like the majority of the, other than like various Pokemon games, which I've already talked about on this channel plenty of times. Mystery Dungeon being the biggest one that I always go back to, because I feel like that story is one of the strongest ones in like the Pokemon franchise, and that's basically the handful of retro games that I do go back to and replay every so often. You know, yeah.
What do you got, Morgan?
One of the games that I usually will go back to from time to time that I guess is now a retro game would be Sonic Adventure 2. Battle. I don't really play the first version of it anymore, but because I think it's old enough now to be considered retro.
It's old.
Yeah, it's over 20 years old, so yeah, I guess it's now retro. Every now and then I'll go back and I'll actually play through that game. It's just something that I think from like that time period in my life it's just like an enjoyable game. Because it's fun, but then like it was just the time period itself. And then most recently, there is another older game that I had been playing like off and on, I guess, throughout the years that I hadn't touched until like within the last few nights. Is Need for Speed Most Wanted. I think it's like 19 or 20 years old now. I actually even recently even got a GameCube controller for PC so that it's easier to play it. Yeah, because it's actually kind of hard to play with the PS5 controller for whatever reason. So, I have been playing through Most Wanted again recently. There's like two games that I've been feeling like I want to go back and play also that are from actually the Super Nintendo, but I haven't played them like a good long while, but I feel like just because they're games that like I used to play with our dad whenever I was a kid. So it's just they give me good feelings, and um every now and then I'll think about them and kind of have that itch to want to play them again. And one of them is Contra 3, and then the other was a game called Strike Gunner. So we used to play those a lot on the SNES, and I've actually been feeling like a bit of an urge to play it again. I actually found out a few minutes ago that they're, I guess, both available on the Switch. So there is that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's like a Contra Anniversary Collection
Contra,
that you can
I figured
download.
Contra, I figured they would have on the Switch, but because that was a big game when it came out. Strike Gunner, I've never heard of Strike Gunner, but
Strike Gunner is just it's like a it's kind of hard for me to explain. Obviously, it's 2D, it's top down. You're in a fighter jet. It's co-op. I think you might be able to play it single player, but I don't remember. And you just like shoot a bunch of like enemy tanks and ships, and or well, not necessarily. Well, no, there could have been ships. I don't know. I don't remember. Enemy aircrafts and stuff like that. And it automatically scrolls. So basically, you have the option to move forward or backwards on the screen if you need to, and then left and right, and then just like shoot. It was a lot of fun to play with dad like back in the 90s.
Girl, this game is pricey.
Was it?
Let's see here. $90.
Ooh.
$55.
Because I saw that Strike Gunner is actually also on Switch for like $7.99.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you want a
download.
Super Nintendo copy, you're looking at like $50 to $70 open.
I think we
Loose?
might actually still have the SNES copy, and we actually have an SNES also. I just haven't hooked it up
Yeah, like
in
I
a
said,
long time.
I never heard of this game, so like now I'm like, okay, this has got to be an expensive game because I've never heard of this. And
Yeah, I saw that.
did not disappoint. It's kind of pricey. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So like I'll probably try to like give both of those a shot again sometime because I just haven't played them in a long time. But at least what I have been playing that's a game that I come back to from time to time is Need for Speed Most Wanted.
That's Need for Speed Most Wanted.
That
There's
one I actually used to
two
play
of
with
them,
like
right?
my
There's
sister
like
a lot.
then they redid it, like, or they rebooted it, right? At one
I
point.
think-
Yeah,
I think
2012
it's-
they released it again, didn't they?
Yeah, I think the 2012 one is an actual reboot. I don't think there was like
Yeah.
anything similar between the two, but I forget. I
I
didn't
I
actually
played the
play the
2012 one.
You're talking about the
Oh,
GameCube
okay.
one, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
the GameCube one's 2005.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The reboot was quite a bit later.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
What do you love about Contra? I'm not a big Contra person, but people love Contra. But what do you love about Contra?
I think, well, the funny thing about Contra is I think that it's not really technically in my wheelhouse of games that I normally play. I think it was probably just because it was a game that like I play a lot with our dad when I was a kid, and I think it was just kind of more for that aspect, the co-op aspect and working together, and then like killing the aliens and stuff like that. I just think was really fun because like the gameplay itself is not really a sort of game that I usually would play. I did think it was a lot of fun though, because like I had like my favorite weapons and stuff like that I always basically kept using.
Huh. So it's mostly childhood nostalgia with your dad.
Yeah, I think it's probably more that. I think it is a fun game, like the gameplay, the mechanics and stuff like that it has. It's just not a kind of format that I normally play. So I think it's more like nostalgia than anything.
Yeah, dude, nostalgia is a lot. Like nostalgia hits a lot. Look at me with this damn Ninja Turtle games.
Yeah.
People like look at it and be like, "Why? Like, why did it?" I'm like, "Because those games were great. That's why."
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you reminded me. Another one that I definitely do come back to very, very, very often are the Donkey Kong Country games.
See, okay, Donkey Kong Country. That's
another
also
game that I come back to a lot.
Dill's whipping them out.
Look what I got for my birthday.
Hey,
Heck yeah!
Okay.
Hey.
Nice.
Donkey Kong Country Returns.
It's a shame that those games do not have online co-op.
Yeah.
I hope that, yeah. Yeah.
The fucking, what's it called? The cart level, the mining cart shit. Clonk, 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 clonk.
So
This shit's a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's actually a thing that Morgan and I plan on participating in. It's called a Donkey Kong Country 2 randomizer race. So yes, there's a randomizer for this game. So think about this, Eric. Think Donkey Kong Country 2, where all the enemies are completely randomized. It can be anything, and they also reset after every single time you either die or reload the area.
Right.
But going into like a bonus barrel or getting to the end of the stage takes you to a completely different place. So you actually have to run around and trying to figure out the path of how to beat each game's boss in order to unlock the final boss.
Okay,
and
that
it is
sounds
insane.
irritating, but yeah.
And we're trying to race other people.
Nice. You really like doing yourself some of this torturing. You're just like, we could do this.
I like to set my balls on fire. What can I say?
I like to set my bobs on fire.
There you go. There's the title.
Yeah, it's called the Bob Fire.
Bob Fire. Yep, there you go.
Bob's on fire. There it is.
Goodness
Or
gracious,
Tim's
Bob's
Great Balls
on
of
fire.
Fire.
Bits or
Yeah!
Tim's bits.
Yeah.
Tim's bits. What do I have? So, which is funny enough because I have a Need for Speed game. I have this big obsession with Need for Speed Underground, which is the street racing, like Fast and the Furious-esque one that came out. Well, according to the wiki article here, 2003. To this day, I still think this is the best Need for Speed game they ever did. 1 and 2, like 1 and 2. Those are the best Need for Speed games I think they ever did, and God knows why they haven't redone them yet, like remastered them or rebooted them or whatever. I don't know why. I definitely think it's something that should be done because I do think those were the best ones they made. But there's something very nostalgic for me in that whole thing. Is like of all those racing games at that time, Gran Turismo is another one I always go to a lot. But something about Need for Speed Underground is just like reflective of the era. Like those 2000s were very big on like street racing and like, you know, Fast and the Furious era and all that kind of stuff. Which if you don't remember listening to this and you're young enough to not have been there when that all came out, like it was a huge cultural deal. To the point where cops got involved and were like, yeah, this thing has to stop because people would be racing on streets. But it was like very reflective of that era. I had just gotten my first car at the time, which was like my mom's 95 Honda. So you could see how everything kind of just fit and correlated. And everything just kind of lined up for that whole era. And yeah, I love that game a lot. I play it a lot. I just do like zip around in races and stuff. Morgan, what is this face you're giving me?
I might have been guilty of participating in such activities around that time.
Whoa. Hold the phone here. Are you saying that you did street racing?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. We don't need to fucking talk about these games for a second. I need to know this story. Zenith, Zenith, you can't look at me and tell me you're not mildly intrigued.
I'm just disappointed.
Why?
Because you can't catch me dead in her car ever.
Okay.
To be fair,
She's
I
a
don't
hazard.
drive with anyone.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so Morgan was a wild one. Okay, let's see here. I need details. Okay, first off, what kind of car did we drive?
It was a Camaro, a 90s Camaro.
Okay. Z28?
Yes.
Guys, are you in the chat listening to this right now? Okay. Okay. Did you ever get busted by the cops?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Strangely enough, the only 2 times I ever got pulled over is when I was actually driving illegally, which was weird.
What the fuck? Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea. I got
Did you have
pulled
a
over
tail light
for...
out or something?
No, that's the thing. I signaled like the one time was in the Camaro, and then the other time was actually in a different car. But the one time in the Camaro, I was trying to change my lane. So I was on my way to college, like to my college classes. I checked the lane. There was a spot for me to go. I turn on my signal. I start changing my lanes. All of a sudden, there's a cop that's upset for some reason. I have no idea why. I pulled over and I rolled down my window. I'm talking very calmly, like, hi, how are you doing? Stuff like that. He's just, I don't know. I think he was having a bad day. I think that's probably what happened. I was like, okay. And then I just went to class afterwards. I didn't get a ticket. He didn't issue me a warning or anything. I have no I don't know. To this day, I still don't understand.
This is amazing. Okay, this is definitely amazing. Okay. Was the Camaro a stick shift?
She's a criminal. Ooh.
I'm not a criminal. No, it was an automatic, but sometimes I actually did drive it like a manual. I'd actually force it to shift gears sometimes.
Oh my God. What happened to the Camaro?
It's still around, but it's not being used. Basically,
did you GTA it and park it in the garage and spray paint it, or what?
The funny thing is that I've never gotten into an accident. I've never gotten a ticket. I have no police record whatsoever. Funny enough, the only times that I sort of dinged it was whenever I was parking, twice, I think. It's, to be fair, I'm a very small person, and that car has a very long front end. It's kind of hard to see where the end of the front end is.
You didn't have enough phone books for the car for the driver's seat to sit above.
You know what? I really needed it. I could have actually seen how close to the wall I was. It was just a little tight, just a little boop. That was it.
Okay, so how many races did you win?
I don't remember because it wasn't one of those enter a race for pay or anything like that. It was just kind of somebody sitting at a red light and they're like, hey, you want to race or something like that.
And Morgan was like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Morgan's a wild one, folks.
Yeah. Jeez, a little more every day.
Wow, that's my total opinion of Morgan has changed now. My mind is blown.
Yeah.
Wait till Pal hears this story.
I was 18, 19 years old at that time. I had a really close kind of scary encounter that just kind of made me, kind of wake up, and I was like, you know what? I should definitely not be doing this.
Well, at least you woke up and realized I should probably be doing this in safe conditions versus on the streets, but
yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm also, yeah, but I've calmed down a lot over the years, so it's just
this is hard to say, right? But we have to all realize, people, when we're young, we do stupid shit when we're young. We think we're unstoppable. We do a lot of stupid shit when we're young. That's what we do. The whole point is we grow and we learn from it and we progress and we realize that it was wrong. And that's clearly what Morgan has done here.
Yeah. So it's for me, my wake up call was because I was going.
Don't incriminate yourself. No, seriously, don't incriminate yourself. Don't do anything dumb.
I avoided something that could have been disastrous. I'll say that.
There you go. Good enough. I didn't definitely do dumb shit. That's what the chat has said. I'm certain you did dumb shit. We all did.
Jake, you are still young. You are going to do more dumb shit.
Yeah. If you're in your late teens through your 20s, you're going to do tons of dumb shit. Trust me, you'll do dumb shit into your 30s. Don't just realize that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Back to the case in point here. So yeah, Need for Speed Underground was a big one for me. I did a lot of that growing up. One of my favorite things, and it's going to sound, well, not quite weird, but Another one is A Link to the Past. I always do the first like starting intro to The Link to the Past out of just boredom. There is something very special about that whole Link is asleep, he wakes up, he goes and he finds his dad in a castle and takes a sword, and then you have to save the princess from the castle. For that era, it is an incredible way to start a game. And it's very, very special. It's got the mood and everything. It's raining, it's, you know, dark, it's gloomy. You're like kind of being talked to in your sleep, and then you got to get up, and you're it's weird because it doesn't portray very well when you talk about it, but when you see it on screen, it's almost like you're being guided to the castle and you don't know why. It's like subconsciously you're being told to go to the castle and do what you're doing, but it's not reflected very well in the game, but you know that's what's going on. And it's really a strong indicator of storytelling, like in that old Super Nintendo Zelda. I do that a lot. I go through that a lot. I'll sometimes go through the first like 3 dungeons to get the fix. And then sometimes I continue through it. But like, yeah, A Link to the Past will always be my Zelda. That is a special Zelda. It's an incredibly well done game. And it's in the top 3 for me. So there's that one. And then this is the one that's going to sound weird. I don't know. Maybe you guys find it weird enough. I do a lot of fucking Tetris. Like Game Boy Tetris.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but it's like a... It is like a it's not a brain shut off game because you have to focus on what you're doing, but it kind of does that. Like it isolates me and shuts me off from what's going on around me because I will solely just focus on Tetris.
Okay.
Yeah. It keeps me focused in a way. It keeps my brain thinking, and I really, really enjoy Tetris, but only the Game Boy one for some reason. I don't know why the other ones don't hit like the Game Boy one does.
Not like Tetris 99.
Tetris 99 was great. That one I will that one was great where you're competing against the other people. That was a fantastic game. That's not around anymore, right? Like they took that off?
I
think
I
don't remember.
Maybe
because then they did the Mario one. They did the Mario,
Mario
run.
one was limited time. I think they did Pac-Man as well recently too. Yeah.
Yes, the Pac-Man one.
I haven't checked it out for a while, so I'm not too sure.
I might look into that today, but yeah, Tetris 99 was fantastic. That was a great thing. But yeah, I like a lot of Tetris. There's also the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Game Boy game, Fall of the Foot Clan. That's also my favorite Game Boy game. It's very simple, just side-scrolling beat 'em up on a Game Boy screen. I have a lot of nostalgia from the Game Boy because that was actually the first like video game system I ever had. That was like a Christmas gift from my parents when I was a kid, and it was one of the OG like ones when it came out in '89 with the gray DMG 01 with the yellow screen and the big gray housing. So a lot of nostalgia there for those. I love the Game Boy. If I had the room and the space, I'd probably do a whole Game Boy collection, but it's just too big.
Yeah.
It's just too big, but Game Boy is incredible. Game Boy Advance was a lot of fun. Game Boy Color, you know, I have a lot of nostalgia for handhelds. Yeah, there was the Last of Us. I do the Last of Us a lot. I will go through and I'll play the Last of Us a couple times because that intro hits every single time.
Yeah,
there's no way that intro doesn't hit every time you touch it, and that says a lot. Speaking of which, did you guys see the trailer for season 2?
Yep, that looks good.
I haven't.
There was a Twitter that I read that it was what's the guy that plays Joel? What's his name again in real life?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. They asked him how the filming was going. He said, Pedro Pascal. He said it's kind of sad because I'm not around for a lot of the filming. And I was like, here we go.
Oh yeah, okay, then I know what the season's about.
But
anyone who's played both games knows what season 2 is going to be about.
I'm going to make the prediction right here, right now on pod. I'm going to say they're going to go through the whole Abby plotline of the story first. I think they're going to do the whole Abby plotline first.
I think what they're going to do is, I think I read somewhere where they want to, and it was kind of difficult for them to do this for The Last of Us Part 2, is being able to fill the gaps between what happened between Last of Us Part 1 and then Part 2. Because yes, we got like flashbacks in the scene of where you have like that touching, several touching moments with Ellie and Joel after their adventures in Part 1. Whereas in they'd be able to do a whole lot more for the season if you through the HBO series. So I think if anything, they're probably going to explore like a lot more of like Abby's story, Ellie's story. So I don't think
you can't spoil it.
So I don't think Joel will play a big part in this upcoming season. So I think it's just a lot more just explaining and set up for what might happen in like what actually happens in Last of Us Part 2.
I can see that. I can see that happening because I don't think they want to make this a 2-season show. Like this is going to be.
No, they've already said
3 seasons.
3 seasons. I think that they said there's going to be.
Yeah, because it's so wild. The show's so wildly popular. It makes no sense that they would just do 2. They get at least a third one out of it. But okay, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I can see what they're doing there. But you're definitely not going to see the Joel thing, when it happens in the game like it does in the game. I don't think that's going to happen in this TV show.
No, I'm curious to see how they're going to spin that. I'm curious to see when it's going to happen as well. Yeah,
interesting stuff. But yeah, Last of Us is also one of my favorite games to go back and play because the intro hits every single time and it's heartbreaking. And then once you do that, you're hooked. Like you just keep going.
Yeah.
And it's hard to put it down.
I played the first game like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, dude. I've only played the second one once.
Same.
I think I might have played the first one like 8 times. I don't remember. No, I maybe more than 10 times actually. I think.
Although they do have the what's it called now, the remaster for the second one or the upgrades remake for the second one.
They basically did the first one in the second game's engine.
Yeah, I might take a look at that. But all right,
I won't even bother with that until it's like on sale because I don't think it's worth $70.
Yeah, I talked about that pods like years ago where I got burned on that one. $70 and it was the same damn game.
Just literally.
That's
why
I was like, what the fuck?
But we bring it back down to 40, and then there you go, you got me.
Yeah, which they'll probably do for what's it called?
Some kind of sale.
Oh, we got another Paper Mario fan in the chat here. Chibi says she goes back to Paper Mario along with Pokemon.
Okay, that's cool.
Paper Mario's a good one. The 1,000-Year Door is an incredible game. Go play that. Go play Chrono Trigger. Go play Chrono Cross. Go play what's this one with the android robots?
R.E.P.O.
R.E.P.O. Yeah, and then go check out Split Fiction.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for this week, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on. Oh my god, the calendar never opens for me. That's like what, the 4th, I think.
The 6th.
6th. I was close. We'll be back on the 6th, April 6th. If you like what you saw, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you.
Sorry, it's the 5th.
What?
It's the 5th of April, not the 6th. Yeah, 5th.
The 6th is Sunday.
Social media, ! Social media. That'll take you the links to the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, all that good stuff. Lots of clips Pal's cranked out for you up there. Go check those out. Pal is resident clip maker now.
Yay.
So, go enjoy that content. Go like it. Go subscribe to it. Comment, all that good stuff. It helps us out a lot. April 5th. Thank you, Chibi. It helps out a lot. Go check that stuff out. What else do we got here? Dill, happy birthday.
Thanks.
We love you. Have a good rest of your night. Morgan, thanks for filling in as always. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Zenith, always here. I'm glad you had a good day at the spa. You feel recouped, ready to roll.
No, I'm tired today.
You're tired.
You look tired.
All right. On that note, this is Good Friends, Good Games, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Bye.
Bye.